It's going to take guts to make the 200-mile trip from Liberty to Austin. Along the way are 5 rounds of grueling playoff softball. Lose, and you go home. Once you get there, another 2 until you're the last one standing. Will it be the Lady Panthers? Time to find out. Welcome to this Liberty Panther Sports Network live stream event. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing. It's game day with Liberty Panther softball. Let's get it. Good afternoon, Panther Nation. Liberty Panther Sports Network. I'm Joe Roberts. Alongside me is my longtime broadcast partner and play-by-play man, Ross Norwood, in the producer seat, Richard Ewing. We are here for the 4A state semifinals between the Bullard Lady Panthers and your Liberty Lady Panthers. And we should be at McCombs Field on the campus of the University of Texas at Austin. Instead, we have been relocated almost 40 miles to the northeast, and we are at Georgetown, and we're playing on the campus of Eastview High School. We are about 15 minutes away from game time, and it has been raining constantly since yesterday evening, Ross.
Joe, we pulled into town about 11 o'clock last night and brought the rain. Actually, the rain followed us, and we caught up with it last night on our way up, and it has not stopped. Now, the severe stuff has moved away. Right now, off and on, some sprinkles, but all day today, a nice steady rain, which delayed the games that were supposed to go before.
The 3A state championship game was supposed to start at 1 p.m. this afternoon at McCombs Field. That was going to be between the Dieball Lady Jacks and Reigns. I'm not sure who their mascot is, but they were going to be playing for the whole kit and caboodle. But again, steady rain, not hard, just steady all day long. And McCombs Field is an all-natural field. It's not a turf field at all. And in order to ensure that the other championship games are played, UIL had to come together and start parting out the games and moving them all the way around. On the other side of the 4A bracket, Cal Allen and Iowa Park are playing at Georgetown High School at 7 p.m. So both of these semifinal games will be occurring at the same time. The winner of this game presumably will still get to play on Saturday at 1 p.m., but looking at the forecast, the weather doesn't look super great the next couple of days, Ross.
If you've been following us throughout the playoffs, the story of the playoffs has been chasing weather.
And we've been chasing it all over the place.
And getting lucky and missing the weather until last week in Navasota. But Lady Panthers are here. They got a start from the hotel a little early. They've been here, get acquainted with the field conditions. Very similar to what they played on in Navasota last week against Lake Belton.
One big difference, though, Ross, behind home plate.
Yes, the distance between home plate and the backstop, the netting behind home plate is probably the longest distance we've seen this year.
It's probably about 12 yards. And so anything that gets past, if there's a runner in scoring position, there's going to be a good chance that they will be able to score on a pass ball, something that we're going to be looking for. Now that we are into the semifinals, there are only 4 teams left. Again, your Liberty Lady Panthers, the Bullard Lady Panthers, Cal Allen, and Iowa Park. And these are moved into single elimination series. The loser of the game tonight will automatically be third place. They'll receive their medals and their trophy, and they will pack it up and head on to their respective homes. The winner going to be playing on Saturday. And again, it could be at McCombs Field and it could be elsewhere depending on what this weather is doing. Right now it's spitting just a little bit here at Eastview in Georgetown, but we can see the sun in the western sky, and most of the precipitation is now south of us, and we're hoping that continues to be what is going on. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Again, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing in the seat, and we're going to stay with you One of the things that may be a little slow for us tonight is we are set up outside. The press box is really small, and both schools as well as the UIL officials are pretty much packed in there. And Ross and I are outside in the weather. And
Richard Ewing is inside.
And our producer, he's nice and comfortable on the inside.
He has the most expensive equipment, and that's where he needs to be.
That's exactly true.
With any threat of rain.
All right, we're going to give a huge shout out. Liberty Panthers Sports Network pulling in our very first ever sponsor, Big Tex Rentals out of Dayton, Texas. Want to give a huge shout out to them for sponsoring our fees today for this particular broadcast. And God willing, another broadcast on Saturday. Gene West and his great people over there at Big Tex Rentals in Dayton, Texas, our first sponsor. And we just want to say how much we appreciate those guys. And we're going to kick a commercial to them real quick. When we come back, we should have the teams taking the field.
Big Tex Rentals on 1960 in Dayton believes in hometown values. Locally owned and operated and serving the greater Liberty County area since 2008. Call the friendly folks at Big Tex 936-257-8776, where they can help you with all your equipment rental needs. Construction and building equipment, lawn care and maintenance, power tools and small equipment too. Are you planning a big event? Don't stress out. Call Big Tex, where they can help you with all your party and event rental needs. When you have equipment rental needs, Big Tex Rentals in Dayton is just a phone call away. 936-257-8776. Big Tex Rentals wishes the Liberty Lady Panthers the best of luck in the state softball tournament.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing. Again, a big shout out to Big Tex Rentals.
Yeah, I got the feedback. Go check and see what, maybe it's the.
All right, apologize for that. I tell you what, Ross, if we didn't have gremlins in our broadcast, we just wouldn't have a broadcast, would we?
It would be no fun. There we go again. We are having to do an improvised setup, and I just saw a flash, and I think it was either the lights coming on or a camera flash. Ross Norwood, Joe Roberts, Richard Ewing with you. State softball semifinal game between Liberty and Bullard. Liberty the visiting team, Bullard the home team. UIL does that on overall record for the season.
That's right. Once they get to this round, they get reseeded and they get jumbled up and put together 1, 4, 2, 3. However, both teams pretty similar in style of play. The Lady Panthers of Bullard starting, I would assume they're going to start their freshman pitcher that has been pitching for them most of the season. They had some early season setbacks with some player personnel, and they overcame quite a bit in the offseason to even get where they're at.
Aniston Foster, the pitcher for Bullard tonight.
Your Liberty Lady Panthers arriving here with a very, very good playoff record. Sweep, a sweep, a sweep, a sweep, and then finally being tested last week by
Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the technical difficulties. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We are having some feedback issues in our headsets. We will get that straightened out. Joe Roberts working on that. We are in Georgetown at East View High School, where the state semifinal game is being played. Both coaches for Bullard and Liberty meeting with the umpires. It's going to be a four-man crew. Liberty is the visiting team, Bullard the home team, and the UIL reseeds once the state tournament participants are known, and it's done by record. Bullard coming into this series with a better record than Liberty, but getting some festive beads.
There we go.
Good evening,
this?
And we're going to have the national anthem here in a little bit as the Liberty Lady Panthers,
That's what it's giving me when I put
their
it in there.
dugout on the first base side as visitors. Bullard, the home dugout, on the third base side. Liberty in their gray uniforms with black shoulders, black numbers, yellow letters.
First for a designated visiting team.
The designated visiting team being introduced currently. Again, if you're joining us in Georgetown at Eastview High School for the state semifinal game between Georgetown and Bullard. Game was originally supposed to be played at McCombs Field in Austin at the University of Texas, but that having to be moved because of weather. Weather has been a major issue today in the Austin area. Right now, we're seeing a little bit of sun, still heavily cloudy. This game was moved about 3:30 this afternoon, 45 or so minutes away, depending on your traffic. Introductions being done right now for the Liberty Lady Panthers.
Batting six, starting catcher, number 6, Holly Thomas.
As you can hear, Holly Thomas will be catching. We'll go over the lineup here as the game gets along.
Kylie Bishop. Batting 8, the DP, number 8, Reese Evans. Batting 9th, right fielder, number 3, Bailey Slack. And your starting first baseman, number 1, Reagan Williams.
Liberty started the playoffs by defeating Bridge City in the by-district round, moving on to take down Wharton. They had Sealy next. That was the first trip to Navasota, and Sealy was taken down in 2 games.
Here are the reserves.
Then last week, or then traveling to Hudson to play Carthage, and Carthage was dispatched by the Lady Panthers in 2 weeks.
2 games.
2 games.
It feels like 2 weeks.
It does feel like 2 weeks.
Number 15,
And then last week, Lake Belton, the first series in these playoffs that Liberty played 3 games, and they were an exciting 3 games.
Absolutely no doubt about that. Dropped the first one in a heartbreaking fashion. Tied it back up in the 6th inning. Camden Chandler bomb, and then lost in extra innings. Came back on that Friday. We're winning. Had to go into an extended rain delay that pushed over into Saturday. Came back, picked up where they left off, won, and then had another tense game on Saturday afternoon to secure the regional championships. And here we are at Eastview High School in Georgetown, your Liberty Lady Panthers getting ready to play the state semifinal on one end of the bracket. Again, Cal Allen and Iowa Park playing on the other side of the bracket. The winner of each of these games set to meet on Saturday, hopefully at McCombs Field, at the campus of the University of Texas at Austin. But before we get to that, we have to settle this one, Ross Norwood. Your Liberty Lady Panthers playing with a combination of power, small ball, stellar pitching, and great defense, and hoping that their experience is going to lend them very well today. Both teams now having been announced by the stadium announcer and preparing for the national anthem. I'm going to stop talking. We're going to listen to the national anthem. When we come back, we should be able to be just about game time. All right, Ross Norwood, Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Panther Nation. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing in the hot seat. And here we are, the Texas 4A State Semifinal Championships at Eastview High School in Georgetown, Texas. Again, game having been moved from downtown Austin, where McCombs Field lies, to about 40 miles northeast. And the Bullard Lady Panthers, the home team, your Liberty Lady Panthers, the visiting team. Bullard out on the field doing their final warm-ups as we get set to start this off. Jalen Pritchard, the senior and Eastern Illinois commit, getting ready to hit first out of the left-handed box for the Liberty Lady Panthers. And Ross, she has been stellar all season long.
A nice blend of speed and power. She's been able to put the ball in the gaps, and when needed, she's been able to move the ball around the field. And then once she gets on the bases, she is just fine.
Yeah, she had a critical home run that she hit in the Carthage series. She was one of that trio of seniors that all hit bombs in the Carthage series in the same game. She has gap power. She has speed on the base path. And she's just a phenomenal player.
So just about ready to get underway. The infield for Bullard breaking up as they get ready for the first pitch. Jalen standing just outside the batter's box. Umpires for today's game are from the Fort Worth chapter, and they were assigned by the UIL. Big crowd on hand for both teams as Jalen Pritchard, the left-handed batter, stands in. She's towards the back of the batter's box. Infield. She looks at strike one. Infielders starting off even with the bag, the third baseman and first baseman, and showing that they're going to charge just a little bit with Pritchard. She can lay down a bunt, but she can also put the ball in the gap. 1-0 count just underway. Liberty and Bullard. As that pitch was bounced in to even the count at a ball and a strike. Ashton, the pitcher, actually it's Ashton Foster, the pitcher for Bullard. The 1-1 pitch is outside. 2 balls and a strike to Jalen Pritchard. In the series last week, the Liberty Lady Panthers faced a left-handed pitcher for the first time in a very long time. The 2-1 pitch from Foster to Pritchard is fouled over the screen and over the stands on the first base side.
Yeah, one of the things that we have here at this particular field, we don't have a headache rack this time around, Ross. We're going to have to keep our head on a swivel on any foul balls.
Putting a lot of faith on the screen in front of us. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jalen Pritchard, this game just underway. Bullard and Liberty State semifinal game, and the 2-2 pitch is high, and a full count to Jalen Pritchard. Macy Beam and Casey West are the other 2 Lady Panthers that are due up for Liberty. And I guess I've got to be careful using the Panther term because both teams are Panthers. So a lot of Bullard and a lot of Liberty. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled over the dugout on the third base side and out of play.
Yeah, with a slapping hitter like Jalen, going to get a lot of those little when she fouls it off, it's going to cut pretty hard to the left-hand side. But she's a really savvy hitter. That's a way to keep a bat on it to stay alive.
Pritchard resting the bat on her shoulder, pulls it off her shoulder, and is ready for the 3-2 pitch. And she goes down and fouls this pitch back into the screen just short of Bullard's dugout on the third base side.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the Bullard defense not playing up as far as we've been seeing a lot of teams play the Lady Panthers of Liberty.
With a full count, they're playing in their what would be their normal possession behind the bags at first and third. The middle infielders playing deep on the turf, and Pritchard fouls, gets a piece of the 3-2 pitch.
I think she got a piece of the umpire, too. It looked like it came off of his shoulder. She's doing a really good job of battling and putting a lot of pressure on this freshman pitcher to see if she can stay focused. Bullard's pitcher is pretty tall, maybe one of the taller pitchers that we've seen in the playoffs.
Aston Foster.
Really good crowd on hand today, Ross, for both teams, as one would expect a state semifinal match to be, even with the location change.
Foster standing behind the rubber in the circle, getting her sign from her catchers. Her catcher looks into the dugout for the sign. Foster has the sign and is back on the rubber. Pritchard ready for the 3-2 pitch, and it is high. A walk to Jalen Pritchard to start the game for Liberty.
And what a way to battle against the pitcher, getting down and then turning it on its head. That's what you expect a senior to do and what you definitely expect your leadoff hitter to do. And Jalen has been on base more than 50% of the time on the year.
Macy Beam is at the plate. In the series last week, she had 3 big sacrifice bunts, and we will see if she is going to try a sacrifice again. The Bullard third baseman Hooker is playing short, ready to charge. The first baseman King is even with the bag, and the first pitch is high from Foster.
We'll see if this catcher for Bullard is as active as Shimabukura last week for Lake Belton, who was super active behind the plate. Again, a lot of distance between the plate and the backstop here at Eastview.
1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. Jalen Pritchard is on first as Macy Beam takes a strike on the outside corner. Nice pitch by Foster.
Yeah, Macy Beam was on a real tear early on in the playoffs. She hasn't scored as much lately, but she has had some critical RBI sacrifices, and she's been moving runners.
2 for 8 in the series against Lake Belton with 2 runs scored and 3 sacrifice bunts. Macy Beam looks at this pitch, away. 2 balls and a strike to the junior left fielder.
Yeah, Macy Beam is one of those types of hitters that has so much speed that if she gets it put in play, there's always a chance that she can get on base and make something exciting happen.
Shortstop shading to the third base side, or actually shading very tight to third base. Second baseman up close to the middle. Macy Beam attempts a bunt, pulls it back, but it is a strike as she didn't quite get that bat stopped.
Yeah, Mr. Blue took his time on that one, had to think about that one. I think that was a pretty good call.
Count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Macy Beam. Casey West is on deck. Macy wearing 1 batting glove on her lead hand, the right hand, the left-handed batter. Stands in the back of the box and looks at the 2-2 pitch. Sends it high in the air. The third baseman Hooker over into foul territory, almost at the on-deck circle for Bullard, and makes the catch and 1 away in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, the Lady Panthers have struggled a little bit with that from their slap side hitters, getting that bat underneath the ball and popping up. We've seen several instances of some pop-outs in the last couple of series.
Casey West in that series with Lake Belton, 4 for 10 with 2 doubles, 3 runs scored. She drove in 2, and she was walked intentionally twice. She comes up with Jalen Pritchard, who walked to start the game. She is at first with 1 away. The first pitch, West looks at a strike on the outside corner, just above the knees. A good pitch by Foster.
Yeah, really good location from the freshman and Casey West, just waiting for her to hang something, give her something to eat, as it were.
Foster has her sign and delivers the 0-1 pitch, and it is low for a ball. Jalen Pritchard, once that ball was released, started off of first base to kind of put it into Grant's head, the catcher.
Yeah,
there
Grant.
could be some movement.
That's right. Grant has popped up a couple of times. I don't know what kind of arm she has. Didn't get a real good feel for what she can do during warm-ups.
Jalen Pritchard walked to start the game. She's at first base. One away. Casey West with a 1-1 pitch, and she pops it up high in the air. The second baseman going back into the outfield grass towards first base, catching it for the second out, and Casey West is retired.
The good thing, Ross, that we're seeing so far, even with the 2 outs, is that the Lady Panthers are able to find the bat on the ball. Now they just have to get the timing, and I would expect that to occur pretty quickly. Michaela Burkland, the senior, who's had some really big hits up the bat now.
2 for 9 in the series against Lake Belton with 2 runs scored, but 4 runs driven in for the senior center fielder, right-handed batter. Camden Chandler on deck would hit next if Michaela Burkland reaches. And she reaches out and fouls one slicing.
Yeah, that was...
Actually, that was hooking.
Yeah, hooking. That was a nice cut. One of the better cuts she's had as of late. She was just a little ahead of that one. Really solid contact.
No balls and a strike to Burkland. Jalen Pritchard at first base. We said it was a 4-umpire crew. There were 4 umpires. One of them is in a dugout.
I think perhaps they have one extra in reserve in case something happens.
No balls and a strike to Michaela Burkland, going to Stephen F. Austin next year to play. And his jelly leg there, that was a good pitch.
Yeah, nice little changeup coming across the plate there. Has a nice delivery on that. Looked like the fastball coming out of her hand, and it was probably about 15 miles per hour slower.
No balls and 2 strikes, 2 away. Top of the first inning, Bullard and Liberty. State semifinal game. Jalen Pritchard walked to start the game and is at first base, and the 0-2 pitch is a ball, and going to second is Jalen Pritchard, and she will stand up into second base safely.
Yeah, that was a high throw by the catcher. The shortstop coming across had to kind of make a jumping attempt to get that, because had she missed that, that probably would have wound up in the outfield, and I don't know if the center fielder was ready for that.
200 from all the way around in the outfield.
Yeah, we've been seeing that pretty consistently, 200 all the way around in all of these fields that the Lady Panthers have played so far.
Burkland, 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the first inning, and she swings and fouls one hard into the screen behind home plate, and will do the 1-2 pitch again.
One of the things I can say about Michaela right now is whether she feels it or not, she looks pretty comfortable at the plate. And that's one of the things that she needs to do to get going, is just be comfortable. Great senior bat.
Camden Chandler is on deck for Liberty. 2 away in the top of the first inning. Foster has her sign and winds. The pitch is again sent foul into the screen by Burkland to keep the bat alive.
Yeah, she's been just a hair late and a hair underneath the ball, but she's battling, and it's important to just make this freshman pitcher for Bullard throw the pitch. Get it across the plate. Don't let her get comfortable trying to catch the corner.
It's turning into a pleasant evening. I feel a few little sprinkles here and there, Joe, but the sun peeking out behind some clouds. And the 1-2 pitch. Burkland again sends this one high and foul out of play. Spoiling a good pitch by Foster.
Yeah, this Bullard team, pretty good defensively, pretty good offensively, coming in with a really stellar record.
Infield playing back with Michaela Burkland at the plate. Jalen Pritchard at second. Burkland looks at a pitch low for a ball.
There's ice in her veins right there. That dropped off early. I don't know, I probably would have swung at that because that's just me, Ross. But I'm glad she's the one up there, not me.
2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1 on for Liberty. Jalen Pritchard at second. She walked and then stole second. The 2-2 pitch to Burkland is too high and a full count.
Really good eye. She tried to come back at her with a rise ball, and she didn't have anything to do with that. Burkland, really good eye there.
Foster going to stand behind the rubber, regroup, turns back towards the field, goes down, picks up the rosin bag.
Well,
on
Ross,
this synthetic turf field, Joe, the ball is going to be slick, and that rosin is going to come into play for both pitchers.
No doubt about that.
The payoff pitch. Burkland goes down and bounces it to the third baseman. Goes down, comes up, throws the first. King secures the ball, and that'll do it for Liberty. A walk, one left. We are in the middle of the first inning, no score. Liberty and Bullard state semifinal game.
Established in 2007, the Liberty ISD Education Foundation is an independent, nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to enhance the educational experiences of Liberty Public Schools by fostering community support above and beyond what is provided by the district's normal operating budget. The board of directors consists of residents, retired educators, and business people whose commitment to public education in Liberty is strong and in the best interest of every child in the school system. The mission of the Liberty ISD Education Foundation is to help Liberty ISD enrich, maintain, and expand programs needed to ensure that each student reaches his or her full potential. The Liberty ISD Education Foundation believes that investing in our students today will return excellent leadership tomorrow.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing, moving into the bottom of the first inning, and now we're going to get a look at the Lady Panthers defensively, Ross.
Defensively, going from left to right is Macy Beam, Michaela Burkland, and Bailey Slack. Around the infield from third to first is Jalen Pritchard, Reese Evans, Kylie Bishop, and Williamson at first. Behind the plate is Holly Thomas, and she is catching senior Casey West.
Yeah, Casey West just having a remarkable run. She is actually, I think she's over 900 now. 900 strikeouts for her career. And if she's not, she's super, super close. Really, really great season. Really great career. She's headed to, well, we're almost there. Just headed right down the road to Baylor, where she'll play for the Lady Bears in the fall.
Leading off for Bullard is Berlin Grossman. Berlin, left-handed batter.
We'll see if she's a slap hitter or not. Looks like she's lining up in the back of the box, and the Lady Panthers for Liberty are pulled up.
Grossman backs out as the home plate umpire offers a new softball to Casey West. Jalen Pritchard playing up at third, ready to charge a slapped hit or a bunt. First pitch to West is a strike, a good one. Had some velocity.
Had some break on it as well at the end. That was a nice pitch.
Settling into the back of Holly Thomas's glove. Holly Thomas looks to the dugout for the sign. West delivers the 0-1 pitch, and it's sharply hit foul.
Yeah, that
just missing the Bullard dugout.
That was good, solid contact, and unfortunately for Bullard, that was pretty late. And that's going to happen when you're facing a pitcher like Casey West, who has the velocity that she has on her pitches.
No balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter for Bullard. Liberty got a runner on in the top of the first inning, but she was stranded at second. The 0-2 pitch. High and outside for a ball.
Yeah, Casey likes to work the corners. She likes to work up and down. And if she can get the corner, then she becomes really, really dangerous as opposed to just really dangerous. It's 2 reallys there, Ross.
The 1-2 pitch. A check swing foul ball.
Yeah,
and that was lined over the netting.
Yeah, she tried to pull that one back. She saw that was going to be a rise ball at the last minute, tried to pull it back and couldn't.
1 ball and 2 strikes, bottom of the first inning. Bullard. Leadoff hitter Berlin Grossman at the plate. No score. The 1-2 pitch is rolled in by West.
Yeah, West tried to come back with her change up, She got her looking at that high rise ball, then try to get her to second guess herself. And that's what happens sometimes with that changeup. Comes out of your hands a little funny at the hip area.
Bullard with white batting helmets and face mask in front. Grossman ready for the 2-2 pitch, and it is strike 3 called by the home plate umpire on the outside corner.
Yeah, that was almost right down Main Street, and she wasn't expecting that. That velocity change by Casey West is deadly when she gets it working. She'll come something really, really fast. She'll come back with something slow. She has the breaking stuff. And again, that's one of the reasons that she's headed to a Division I big-time college program.
Just saw the K-man. Tom Guidry is in attendance today, and he has hung his first K. Kayla Paul looks at strike 1 from Casey West. Paul, the right fielder.
I think Bullard is made up really similarly to our Lady Panthers. Not many seniors, a lot of middle youth.
0-1 pitch is outside as Holly Thomas slides to her left.
Yeah, they're counting on a number of freshmen just like we are, and they have a number of sophomores and juniors on their team just like us.
1 out in the bottom of the first inning. State semifinal game, Liberty and Bullard. No score as the 1-1 pitch is check swing foul into the net.
Ross, one of the differences for the Lady Panthers has been the crowd and how well the Panther fans have traveled. And just like in every other series, the student section out in force today, making noise and really pumping
without
up this
shirts
lady.
on.
That's right. Well, this weather, you don't need one. It's really it has turned out to be a somewhat nice evening. It's nice and cool here. Still a little drizzly, sort of.
The 1-2 pitch from West bounced foul down the third base line. Don't have shirts on. They've painted their chest yellow with black letters that spell out Liberty.
Now you can kind of see what Paul's trying to do. She's trying to take it right down the third base line. Jalen's going to have to be really, really careful because it's coming really hot off the bat.
Gabby Nichols on deck for Bullard. Pritchard still playing in. A ball and 2 strikes with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Time is called by Paul as the signs were somewhat of an issue, getting on the same page. The 1-2 pitch is high and off the mask of the home plate umpire.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier. That is going to, I don't want it to be an issue, but just want to be aware of that. If either catcher's not able to handle a ball very well, if it gets through, it's about 12 yards from the plate to the backstop. And we've seen on multiple series where a pass ball has been the difference in a huge inning and rally killer.
The home plate umpire going to get some dry softballs that the auxiliary umpire, we'll call him the auxiliary umpire, is keeping. Holly Thomas going out in this delay to talk to Casey West. She is back. A 2-2 count to Kayla Paul, the right fielder for Bullard. And she sends this one foul, screaming into the dugout of Bullard as the Bullard Lady Panthers do their best to get out of the way.
Yeah, you're going to have your head on a swivel if you're in the dugout on that left-hand side because there is not much protection over there. This is probably one of the least protected fields that we've been on with the netting and other things. Very beautiful, though.
Although we're protected pretty good. Yeah, you passed a cornfield on your way in to the campus.
That's right. Looked like the setting for Field of Dreams.
Casey West is ready to deliver the 2-2 pitch again with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. And that pitch misses outside.
Yeah, wanted that one. Wanted that one. A little too far, a little too low probably.
Very pleasant out, almost cool after getting a little wet with the rain earlier. A few drops still falling here and there. And I see the sun is really fighting to get out of the clouds. The 3-2 pitch again sent towards the Bullard dugout, and it is off a post just short.
I don't know what player made her angry before the game started, but she is giving her dugout the business with those foul balls.
These are screamers.
She's doing a really good job of battling against Casey right now.
Fell down in the count. 0-2, and it's looking at this 3-2 pitch, and again bounced foul. The Bullard head coach making a nice play.
Yeah, when a hitter is doing this, sometimes it really will get in your head as a pitcher, and you start second guessing what you can do. Fortunately for us, Casey West normally doesn't deal with that sort of issue. She's pretty cool and collected under pressure. We've seen her get into some full count situations because she does like to paint the corners, a la Greg Maddox from the Braves glory days.
1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Kayla Paul, the right fielder for Bullard, was in the box as Casey West and Holly Thomas are working to get on the same page with the signs. Paul stepped out. She's back in, the left-handed batter. Ready for the 3-2 pitch, and it is away. Holly Thomas asked for an appeal down to the third base umpire. He says no, she did not swing, and it is a walk.
That was really close. I think that was ultimately the right call, but that was close to breaking her wrists on that one. That was a good at-bat for Paul to fight off the pitcher's count and get on base.
Gabby Nichols.
One away here in the bottom of the first inning. Lady Panthers trying to get out of this one before Bullard can get anything going.
Gabby Nichols, the shortstop, right-handed batter, looks at the first pitch, started to swing but held up, but it was a strike anyway.
It's so important to get that first pitch strike. It just puts the pitcher in the driver's seat, Ross.
That was a 10-pitch at bat by Kayla Paul. Showing bunt, the bunt is down. Casey West coming out of the circle. Her momentum taking her towards first base, throws it on to Williamson for the out. Moving into second base is Kayla Paul.
It's a good job from Nichols to move Paul over into scoring position. Both teams having someone in scoring position with 2 outs. Real similar at-bat so far for both the Lady Panthers squad. And that was a nice, smooth fielding defensive effort from the pitcher, Casey West, to get the force out at first and put them into a 2-out situation.
Addison Hooker, the third baseman for Bullard, comes up with 2 out and 1 on. And the first pitch to Bullard is a strike.
Yeah, West is really popping the glove today.
Kayla Paul walked and moved to second on the sacrifice as the 0-1 pitch is in for a strike.
Yeah, that had some nice late movement on it. It looked like it was going to stay outside and then cut back across the plate.
Paul at second base, no balls and 2 strikes to Hooker, and she fouls this one off. This time the foul ball, the right-handed batter sending it towards the Liberty dugout.
Yeah, both teams having their fun with the dugouts.
Good to see Superintendent Cody Apsher and high school principal Benicia Bendeley out. Athletic Director Chad Taylor here as well. Spoke with him, actually spoke with all 3 before this game. The 0-2 pitch, just outside.
Yeah, again, there was some concern that with the weather, they were not going to be able to get this game in today. And to the UIL's credit, they were able to have a contingency plan in place. And it takes some planning to move lots of groups around, especially when you're looking at the Austin area. Not easy to maneuver.
The 1-2 pitch misses low. Good stop by Holly Thomas to prevent that ball getting by her. At second base is Kayla Paul. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Liberty and Bullard state semifinal game. at Eastview High School in Georgetown. The 2-2 pitch is lined foul down the third base line.
Yeah, Hooker jumped all over that one a little early on that. Had a nice meaty sound on the barrel.
Extended at bats by Bullard in this inning.
Yeah, they're going to have to continue to work on these softballs with this precipitation, rather, not participation, Ross. Precipitation coming down. It's not coming down hard at all, but there's just a drop here and there, just enough to keep it wet.
The 2-2 pitch backs Hooker out of the box, and it's a full count, Joe. Hooker fell down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, and now has the full count.
Yeah, that was a pretty looking pitch right there.
No score in the bottom of the first inning. Casey West delivers the 3-2 pitch in the dirt. It is a ball. Going down to first is Hooker. Going from second to third is Kayla Paul.
Yeah, as soon as she saw that ball come out of Thomas's glove, she took off. That was a nice heads-up play.
Runners at the corners for the designated player, Hattie Foltz.
So far, Bullard playing very intelligent softball, being patient at the plate. The last 2 batters getting down early and then battling back to get on base. No hits, but a couple of walks.
3 walks in this game, 1 coming in the top of the first inning by Foster, the pitcher for Bullard, and 2 for Casey West. In the bottom half of the inning, no score. This game being moved from McCombs Field in Austin to Eastview High School in Georgetown because of weather. Left-handed batter. Looks at first pitch ball. Foltz, the designated player.
Yeah, with 2 outs here, the Lady Panthers really need to concentrate on getting this out at the plate. Not worrying about the other runners on base.
The 1-0 pitch misses outside. Going into second without a throw is Hooker. And, Joe, that was a play that gave Liberty fits in the last series against Lake Belton.
That's right. Smartly cut off right there and trying to tempt Paul to try to come in and get her in a pickle.
The 2-0 pitch misses away and outside. And quickly 3 balls and no strikes to the designated player Foltz. Claire Cannon on deck for Bullard. Kayla Paul is at third base with a walk. And the 3-0 pitch misses outside. And it is the third walk issued, and the bases are loaded for Bullard.
Well, so far, every place is a hot spot now. Coach Slack coming out to the circle to talk to Casey and the defense, kind of get them calmed down a little bit. The Lady Panthers have had this situation happen to them in the last several games, primarily in that Lake Belton series, where there have been some innings where they've struggled to kind of get it under control. And then ultimately they've rebounded. Right now nothing has happened. 2 outs, still in position to just quickly end this inning. Any bag is an out on any sort of bunt or infield hit. And that's probably what Coach Slack is just reiterating to the team right now. Just stay calm, stay cool, stay collected. We talked about Uncle Momentum last series. Right now it seems to be tipping a little bit for Bullard, but again, it's early. Early.
Bullard fans on their feet, encouraging their players, and Claire Cannon at second base for Bullard today.
Baseman, number 11, Claire Cannon.
There is a Bullard Lady Panther on every base. All 3 on base with walks. After the conference, Casey West is on the rubber and ready to deliver the first pitch. And it is fouled over the stands on the first base side and allowed strike 1.
Yeah, right now I think the umpire behind the plate he's got a somewhat of a more tight strike zone in case he's still trying to get used to whatever zone he's calling right now.
0-1 pitch called a strike on the outside corner. And no balls and 2 strikes.
So this is the third batter in a row where Casey's had 0-2. See if she can finish her off here and leave all these ducks on the pond.
Cannon steps out.
It'd be a great mental boost for the Lady Panthers to get out of this with no harm.
She starts the swing, but we're going to have an appeal down to first, and the first base umpire says no swing.
Well, unlike last week, this first base umpire was actually paying attention. I think that was a good call. I think she had not broken her hands on that.
A ball and 2 strikes to Cannon. Bottom of the first inning. And Cannon looks at the 1-2 pitch away.
Yeah, just a bit outside there, and that was an unironic bit outside.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases are loaded for Bullard. Bottom of the first inning, state semifinals game. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Casey West gets Claire Cannon swinging, and that'll do it. Bullard, no runs, no hits, 3 walks, and they strand 3 onto the second inning, scoreless.
Big Tex Rentals on 1960 in Dayton believes in hometown values. Locally owned and operated and serving the greater Liberty County area since 2008. Call the friendly folks at Big Tex 936-257-8776, where they can help you with all your equipment rental needs. Construction and building equipment, lawn care and maintenance, power tools and small equipment too. Are you planning a big event? Don't stress out. Call Big Tex, where they can help you with all your party and event rental needs. When you have equipment rental needs, Big Tex Rentals in Dayton is just a phone call away. 936-257-8776. Big Tex Rentals wishes the Liberty Lady Panthers the best of luck in the state softball tournament.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. I'm Joe Roberts, alongside play-by-play man Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing, keeping us honest in the press box this evening. The state semifinals, your Liberty Lady Panthers taking on the Bullard Lady Panthers in a one-off game for the right to advance to the championship game on Saturday. Eastview High School in Georgetown, Texas. Again, the game transferred from McCombs Field in downtown Austin to about 40 miles or so northeast. Been raining all day long, and the sun is trying to come out. It's trying its darndest. It's spitting in the skies just a little bit. Gray, overcast, cool. Lady Panthers not able to do anything in the top of the first and giving up 3 walks, but no hits and no runs in the bottom of the first. And here we are at the top of the second, all tied up at 0s, Ross.
Camden Chandler will lead it off for Liberty. Chandler, Thomas, and Bishop due up.
This has been a stretch of the lineup, Ross, that we've been waiting to roar to life. And in that last series, particularly Camden Chandler, 4 for 11, she stepped up in a big way. A monster home run, stepped in and pitched a scoreless 7th inning in Game 2 to close out that victory, and then had the game-winning RBI sacrifice in the Game 3 victory.
Driving in 3 runs in that series. Chandler in the box, ready for the pitch from Foster. And it is called a strike on the outside.
Yeah, so far this umpire has been liking more of a tight strike zone. He's been calling it both ways very equally. Should be a pretty good crew tonight. One would expect in the Final Four to have the best of the best, Ross.
The 0-1 pitch to Chandler misses high.
And Foster's not throwing the ball very fast, but she's doing a good job of placing it where she wants to place it. Freshman pitcher for the Bullard Lady Panthers.
Nice evening. Definitely a nice evening if you're grass. As the 1-1 pitch misses higher.
She's tried to get her with that rise ball 2 in a row, and Camden has smartly stayed away from it. That was sort of her kryptonite earlier on this season, as she tried to go upstairs on multiple occasions and struck herself out.
Getting to play this one tonight on synthetic turf. About the only way they were going to get a game in. And Chandler lines this one out to left field. The left fielder moves over towards the left field line to come down with that one.
That was a nice solid hit from the freshman. One of the things that's probably going to happen is most of these balls that are hit, even if they're solid, probably not going to travel very well. It's a real heavy air. You wouldn't expect that in the Austin area, but it's been raining a lot, and so it's really heavy out here. It's comfortable.
Yes, wind temperature, not expecting much, 3 to 5 miles an hour, maybe a gust here and there, up to 10, but that's it. Holly Thomas looks at the first pitch, swings, bounces it to the second baseman, who has to field it around her belt, throws on to first for the out, and there are 2 away in the top of the second inning.
Now batting second base, the number 9, Kylie
And these Lady
Bishop.
Panthers are not really doing themselves much favor. They're jumping on it early, and they're gonna keep Foster's pitch count low right now. And again, that's not a super big factor, but you want to make her throw something.
Kylie Bishop, 1 for 9 in the series against Lake Belton last week. Looks at the first pitch for a strike just above the knees.
She had a phenomenal defensive play at second base where she stretched out and she prevented Lake Belton from getting something going, which ultimately led to the game-winning victory in Game 3. That was hard to describe what she did, but she a full-out stretch. She probably saved at least 2 runs.
It looked like that ball was going to get by for a base hit, and she just vacuumed it up. She's down in the count, no balls and 1 strike with 2 outs in the top of the second inning, no score. Reese Evans is on deck as Foster misses with the 0-1 pitch to even the count.
It's a smart particular at bat right there from Kylie Bishop.
Nobody on for Liberty. A line out and a bounce out are the 2 outs, and she sends this one right back to the pitcher on the ground. Picks it up, tosses it over to the first baseman King, and that'll do it for Liberty. A 1-2-3 inning for Foster. Middle of the second inning, no score.
We are excited to honor the class of 2021. There are no restrictions on the number of guests that can attend, but please be mindful and practice social distancing. If you cannot attend, please join us on the LHS-AV live stream link found on the Liberty High School website. Let's celebrate these graduates and go Panthers!
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing. And tonight's game brought to you by Big Tex Rentals from Dayton. State semifinals. Your Liberty Lady Panthers locked up at zeros heading into the bottom of the second inning. Had a 1-2-3 offensive inning in the top of the first. Nothing doing. Able to put the bat on the ball, but not able to get it into play. And now moving into the bottom of the second, Ross.
Foster been able to locate her pitches very well in the early going, and
yeah, that last at bat, that ball, I'm not sure she even knew she had it in her glove at first. That was a nice way to just throw her glove out there. She's a tall pitcher. She takes up a lot of space out there.
Tegan Grant, Kinsey King, and Riley Joe Garner are the hitters due 7, 8, and 9 in the order. Bullard had the bases loaded in the bottom of the first inning. 3 walks. Casey West able to get a swinging strikeout to get out. And the first pitch is sent foul by Grant. Grant, the catcher for Bullard.
You would think 7, 8, 9, this wouldn't be too much or much ado about nothing. But when you get to this level, 1 through 9 for most every team is pretty good.
The 0-1 pitch from West misses high.
Yeah, try to get her at the numbers. She thought about it, smartly pulled it back.
Reagan Williamson and Jalen Pritchard are playing even with the bags at first and third. Taking a big cut and coming up empty is Grant. A ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Grant has a really short, compact swing. If Casey can work the corners against her, she may be able to strike her out.
King on deck, and that is a strike 3.
And that's exactly what she did. She worked the outside corner, and she wasn't able to do anything to it.
So strike 3 called. The third strikeout for Casey West. Kinsey King. Right-handed batter. She's the first baseman for Bullard. Has an elbow guard on her left elbow. 2 batting gloves. Very narrow stance. Swings and misses at the first pitch from Casey West. 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. No score. I almost said Lake Bullard. It's Bullard and Liberty. State semifinal game on a beautiful evening in Georgetown.
It sure turned into a pretty one. And what I'm enjoying more than anything is this nice, cool weather after those hot boxes that we had at Lake Belton over in Navasota.
Casey West misses with the 0-1 pitch to even the count. Very narrow stance with the first baseman for Bullard. And she swings and sends one foul into the stands, caught on the back row of the stands by a Liberty fan.
That's right.
And thrown back into the field.
We wanted to call that an out right there. Nice catch by our fan base. Yeah, any foul ball over here, we have to have our head ready to go because there's not a headache rack for us.
1 ball and 2 strikes to King. Strike 3 looking, and that is the second out of the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, Casey right now is really working that outside with that breaking pitch, and these last couple of batters, they had no answer for it.
Number 3, Riley Joe Garner.
Riley Joe Garner, the left fielder, as Tom Guidry makes his way to hang
Number 15,
the 4th K. Actually, we are going to have our first little lineup issued. The public address announcer announcing Riley Joe Garner. But that is not Riley Joe Garner at the plate. We'll get that to you as soon as...
Yeah, one of the things that Ross and I are having to do a little different in this particular game is we're not keeping a scorebook as accurately as we normally would because of the precipitation. So we're looking at our online scoring. So we apologize for being a little late with some stats on that. Again, we're set up outside, not inside a booth or a press box or anything like that. And despite the niceness of this Eastview field, the stand areas have no cover to speak of. Two outs in the bottom of the second inning via strikeout.
We will get you a name. We did not have that on our list. A left-handed batter looks at ball, went away, wearing red batting gloves with the
we can get you
Velcro.
Number 15. That's about all we have for you right now.
With the Velcro undone. Has a 1 ball and no strike count. As she swings and comes up empty.
Yeah, she really dropped her knees on that and tried to golf swing that.
That is Pate, the left fielder.
I'm going to take your word for that, Ross Norwood. Once again, dropping her knees, and she's under the ball for strike 2.
Nobody on, bottom of the second inning, no score. Liberty and Bullard, state semifinal game, being played in Georgetown because of rain. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Casey West strikes out the side in the second. No runs, no hits, 3 strikeouts. We head to the third inning. No score. So pay.
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets, millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Texas high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play. Producer Richard Ewing moving into the top of the third inning. Casey West striking out the side. 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. All tied up at zeros. Reese Evans up to bat for the Lady Panthers.
8, 9, and 1 due up. Evans, Slack, and Pritchard in the third for Liberty. Pritchard led the game off in the first with a walk, was stranded at second, and then a 1-2-3 inning by Foster, the pitcher for Bullard, in the second.
Evans had some really great at-bats in that game 3 against Lake Belton.
2 for 8 in the series with a run scored and a run driven in. Stands in the back of the batter's box and looks at the first pitch from Foster for a ball away.
So important that the Lady Panthers are able to make this pitcher do something. Don't help her out by swinging at errant pitches. And they've swung at good pitches. That's not the issue. They just haven't been able to find the gap.
The 1-0 pitch is rolled in for a ball, 2 balls and no strikes as the umpire goes to his ball bag to get a dry softball. Hands it to the catcher, Grant, who gets it out to the mound. Synthetic turf is good because it drains quickly, but it is still wet even though the rain has subsided for the moment.
It really is turning into a nice evening. Hopefully the weather stays and continues to stay south.
The 2-0 pitch catching the outside corner.
Although I will say, for the sake of rains and die ball, hopefully it's died off in Austin proper so that they can get that 3A state championship game underway, as I know both groups of those young ladies are excited to know the outcome of that series.
2 balls and 1 strike to Reese Evans, first batter in the top of the third for Liberty. Foster delivers the pitch, and it catches just a piece of the bat. Foul ball evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, Reese has done a consistent job of getting bat on ball. Sometimes she's not able to get it in the right spot, but she has done a great job of moving runners around on the sacrifice. And defensively, wow, has she had some gems at shortstop.
Back in the box after softballs are thrown in and out of play. The 2-2 pitch to Evans. Strike 3 called at the knees. First strikeout for Foster today.
That's one of the things that you're going to face when you're a slap hitter, when you're coming out of that box. If you time it wrong, you're just not going to have the opportunity to get the bat on the ball in time, and that's what happened for Reese.
Bailey Slack hitting 9th today, 2 for 7 in the Lake Belton series with a run and a walk. First pitch misses outside.
You know, talk about defensive gems. Bailey Slack has had some good ones from right field, had a couple of assists, and put outs from that right field spot.
One out in the top of the third inning. The 0-1 pitch, Slack bunts it, but foul as she sped down to first base. Making her way back down the first baseline, Jalen Pritchard, the on-deck hitter for Liberty, picking up the bat and getting it back to her.
Yeah, Bailey's done a really phenomenal job this year of getting a bat on a ball and using her just really great speed to beat out what normal people like myself would be called out on at first base.
1 ball and 1 strike, 1 out, no score, top of the third. And she sends this ball in the air into shallow left field. The left fielder comes in and makes the catch, but you did see some neon yellow softball coming out of that glove. So good job to hold on to that one for the second half of the inning.
Well, Mr. Norwood, I'd like to tell you that Bailey did something that was really veteran. She saw everyone come up, and she pulled a slap back, and she tried to hit away at the last second, and she almost caught them napping, just didn't get enough of the ball there.
Back to the top of the order, Jalen Pritchard. She walked her first at bat. No score in the third. She swings at the first pitch. The shortstop moving towards second base. Picks it up, throws it on to first for the out just in time. And that'll do it for Liberty in the third. No score. We head to the middle of the third.
Coming to you this summer, the Liberty Athletics Department will host multiple sports camps focusing on skill development, as well as a summer-long power camp that will focus on general strength and conditioning. For more information, contact Athletic Director Chad Taylor, RC Taylor at libertyisd.net, or Karen Slack, KE Slack at libertyisd.net. Bigger, stronger, faster, better. Go Panthers.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing here at Eastview High School in Georgetown, Texas for the state semifinal game. On one half of the bracket, your Liberty Lady Panthers engaged in a pretty tight battle with the Bullard Lady Panthers. Moving into the bottom of the third, neither team scoring, both teams able to get some folks on base. Both pitchers doing a pretty good job so far, Ross.
Both pitchers walking batters in the first inning. Foster walking Pritchard, and Casey West issued 3 walks in the first inning. But since that first inning, she's had 4 strikeouts, 5 total for her. And it's back to the top of the order. And Berlin Grossman, she struck out as she's swinging and fouls off the first pitch, sending Holly Thomas to retrieve the ball in the Bullard on deck circle.
Yeah, this top part of the order for Bullard was pretty good, pretty patient. Got down early against Casey and then somehow managed to battle back and get on base.
Grossman, Paul, and Nichols due up for Bullard in the third. No score. State semifinal game being played in Georgetown. The 0-1 pitch misses, evening the count at 1. Grossman is in center field for Bullard today. They are red. Their colors are red, white, and blue. White uniforms with blue and red lettering.
And Casey West coming back-to-back with that rise ball, trying to get Grossman to chase on that, and wisely she did not.
Grossman leading it off for Bullard in the third. A 2-1 count. Standing in the back of the box as she swings and comes up empty on the 2-1 pitch.
Yeah, Grossman took a big chop at that one, and just like Paul Bunyan, no, he chopped down trees. No, she missed a tree on that one.
It'd be like me trying to chop down a tree.
Well, you're Babe the Blue Ox.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch missing just high. Grossman started her swing but was able to hold up.
I say if you're scoring at home, that's the first crazy thing that I've said today. It's the state semifinals. I got to amp my crazy game up, Ross.
Kayla Paul is on deck. Full count to Grossman. That pitch misses, and that will be a walk. And Grossman confused there.
Yeah, there was some question as to what the count was. I think it was wrong on the scoreboard, what they were looking at. Man, that was as close to being a strike as you could get. That buzz cut the knee right there. That was a good location on probably 99.9% of the time that Casey goes there.
Grossman down at first after the walk. Nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. Scoreless. Caleb Paul, the right fielder, bounces the ball to Jalen Pritchard just in fair territory. The home plate umpire throws his arms up and says foul ball.
He's going to stop this. That was going to be a foul.
Jalen Pritchard fielded it almost in fair territory.
Now, the good thing is that she fielded it cleanly. Had she not fielded it cleanly, he would have had to rule that a fair ball. Although there was some, we're looking right down the line, so it may have been foul anyway.
Casey West asks for a new softball and gets it from the home plate umpire. Nice underhand toss.
Paul was kind of a thorn in West's side at her first at bat. She had a long at bat.
10 pitches is what Paul saw in her last at bat. Runner at first is going. Holly Thomas throws down to second. Reese Evans, the shortstop, gets it. Puts the tag on, but not in time, and Grossman has a stolen base.
That was a really pretty bounce throw from Holly Thomas. It hit at the right spot. Reese Evans coming across from that shortstop, fielded it very cleanly. Had she been a half a step slower, that would have been an out.
Runner in scoring position with nobody out for Bullard. No ball and 2 strike count to Kayla Paul, the right fielder. She walked in her last at bat. Sends a slow bouncer to Evans, who looks back the runner at second and throws to second as the speedy Paul is in safely. No outs there, and no outs in the bottom of the third inning.
That was just a great spot for her to hit that ball. Reese Evans having to play back just a little bit. Now, the thing that she did that was really smart, in my opinion, was she didn't try to throw down to first and allow the runner on second to get down cleanly to third.
And it would have been a tight play at first had she thrown over there with the speedy Kayla Paul. First and second, nobody out, bottom of the third inning, and Gabby Nichols at the plate looking at strike one.
So far, the top of this Bullard order has shown themselves to be pretty dangerous.
A walk and a hit. A walk from Grossman to lead off the inning. She's at second. A hit from Kayla Paul, an infield number, is at first. 0-1 count. As that pitch misses to Nichols. The runners at first and second. Grossman and Paul waiting for that ball to leave Casey West's hand and kind of dancing off the bases, draw some attention. And the 1-1 pitch misses outside for a ball.
Right now, all the bags except for home plate are hot for the out. Lady Panthers just need to be smart. Be smart. We saw a couple of situations previously where they let a couple of errors turn into quicksand.
Nichols had a sacrifice in her first at bat. Has a 2-1 count and sends this ball high in the air. Bishop, the second baseman, goes out on the outfield grass, ranging towards first base, and makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Really nice play by the junior, just stepping over there calmly, coolly, collecting that fly ball. Nothing doing right there.
Number 5, Addison Hooker.
Addison Hooker, the third baseman. She also had an extended bat against Casey West in the first inning.
Yeah, she fell down 0-2 and then just battled back.
Fultz is on deck, showing bunt and pulling the bunt back. A throw down by Holly Thomas. Backing up. It gets past Reese Evans at third, but backing it up is Macy Beam. She gets it back in. Runners at second and third now on the stolen base, the double steal.
Yeah, Thomas popped up with the ball, didn't have a clean look down there to the bag and threw it anyway, thinking that she could get there. Fortunately, the Lady Panther defense right there to help her out. Unfortunately, we have 2 Bullard players now in scoring position with only 1 out, Ross.
The force is gone. Umpires are going to come in and have a conversation.
Really need a strikeout or a short fly here to get that second out to take the pressure off the defense. Lady Panthers have done this on a number of occasions.
Standing even with the circled on the third baseline, the conference of the umpires is broken up. Now the home plate umpire going out towards the circle, where the Lady Panther infield is having their own conference. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Addison Hooker, the batter. Casey West with the pitch, it's bunted. Coming home is Jalen Pritchard, and there's no force. And so the runner is safe, and going into second on the throw home is Hooker, a single.
And now Coach Slack stepping out to the circle again to talk to her Lady Panther infielders. Ross, we've seen this on a number of occasions, going after things that probably were not the right decision. Should have gone down there and got the easy out at first. Didn't do that. Really putting themselves in an awkward position now, going down 1 run, albeit it is still early, but in these kinds of situations, Ross, you don't want to be put in the position where you're giving away runs for free.
With 1 out in the inning, Grossman at third base was going on contact. Pritchard had to come in and get that when momentum was bringing her towards home plate. But no force. Had to apply the tag, and Grossman got in easily. Runners at second and third. 1 run in, 1-0 Bullard. Bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, without getting that out, now they're in the exact same situation, Ross.
Hattie Fultz, she walked in her first at bat. A run in the bottom of the third, state semifinal game being played at Eastview High School in Georgetown. And the first pitch from West sends Holly Thomas into the right-handed batter's box to keep that ball in front of her. Doing a nice job there. A ball and no strike. Runners at second and third. Lots of space between home plate and the backstop at Eastview High School. Fultz takes a big cut and comes up empty to even the count at a ball and a strike.
Yeah, it was a great pitch to come back at her with. Got her looking, got her thinking about it.
One ball and 1 strike. Runners at second and third. Home plate umpire motioning towards the Bullard dugout, telling the coaches that are in the dugout to back into the dugout. They've gotten out a little bit. Fultz sends this one foul hard into the screen. A ball and 2 strikes. Casey West trying to work around second and third with 1 out trouble. Run is in for Bullard in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, Ross, this is going to be a victory for the Lady Panthers if they can get out of this inning with just 1 run.
Inning started with a walk, then a single, and then another single after the first out was made. And that pitch missing.
It's a little low for the umpire's taste. Batter is pretty tall. The bottom of her strike zone is going to be just a bit higher.
Two balls and 2 strikes, the count to the designated player, Fultz. This pitch gets away, coming home and scoring the second run is Kayla Paul, and going into third base is Addison Hooker.
Yeah, we talked about it, Ross. Any pass ball with someone on third is probably going to score him. It is a country mile from the plate to the backstop.
2 runs in, bottom of the third. Bullard leading Liberty. A full count to Fultz. She walked in her first at bat. Claire Cannon is on deck. And this pitch gets away. Coming home is Hooker. Play at the plate is not in time as Hooker just gets in before the slide, says the home plate umpire.
Yep, 2 balls off the glove in a row, 2 runs scored. Now the Lady Panthers have surrendered 3 runs in a row with only 1 out. Now they're going to take Fultz off of first base and send in a courtesy runner for her. Actually, not a courtesy runner. They're going to come in because she's the flex or designated player. All right.
First, number 7, Maddie Hicks.
Maddie Hicks, the runner for Bullard at first base. 1 away in the bottom of the third. 3 runs have come in. There have been 2 hits, a walk, and a couple of pass balls.
Now batting second baseman, number 11, Claire Cannon.
Addison Hooker just scored on a pass ball on a very close play at the plate. Holly Thomas able to get that to Casey West quickly, but not in time for Addison Hooker to score the 3rd run.
And Thomas going to fire down to first and try to get her napping.
Claire Cannon, an 0-1 count, the 0-1 pitch. Misses a little outside there, Joe.
Yep, again, Casey really likes that outside edge, and he's not been wanting to give that, but he hasn't been giving it to either pitcher.
The 1-1 count. That pitch fouled back into the screen, a ball and 2 strikes. 3 runs in for Bullard in the 3rd inning. Still only 1 out. They have a runner at first base. Hattie Fultz walked. Second walk for Fultz. It is the 5th from Casey West. The 1-2 pitch. Fisted foul into the screen, just shy of the on-deck circle of Liberty.
Yeah, Lady Panthers just really need to get themselves back under control here. The good news is no more runners in scoring position. The bad news, only 1 out and a runner on first.
Down 3 runs is Liberty in this do-or-die game. Cannon looks at strike 3 on the outside corner for the 2nd out. And that is the 6th strikeout for Casey West.
Now batting catcher, number 9, Tegan.
Right now, Ross, the difference in the game has been some errors.
And walks.
And walks.
Tegan Grant, the catcher, struck out looking in her first at bat. She's swinging at the first pitch and fouls it lightly. Not lightly. I don't know why I keep saying lightly.
I like the
softly.
word lightly. No, stick with lightly. It's a great adjective.
Into the screen down the first baseline, short of the Lady Panther dugout. Liberty dugout.
Or was that an adverb? I don't know. I taught English and I can't remember.
I took English once. The 0-1 pitch misses a little outside. The runner at first, Hicks, is the courtesy runner for Fultz. She walked. 3 runs are in. Liberty trails the state semifinal game 3-0 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Casey West gets a swing and a miss from Grant. A ball and 2 strikes now.
Lady Panthers going to have to find a way to deal with the top of that order from Bullard. Not a lot of power, but very patient. A lot of speed. Done a really good job of playing small ball against our Lady Panthers.
Grant stepping out, back in the box now. And she lines this pitch past Bishop at second. Backing her up is
Bailey Slack out there from right field. Comes up gunning and gets her at first base to end the inning, but not before the damage has been done. 3 runs coming across in the bottom of the 3rd. Liberty 0, Bullard 3. We'll be back for the top of the 4th.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot, a photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play. Producer Richard Ewing. Eastview High School, Georgetown, Texas. The Liberty Lady Panthers trailing Bullard 3-0 in the top of the fourth in the state semifinal game. And wow, Ross, when things went bad, they really went bad in a hurry. Casey West with a 1-2-3 inning in the inning beforehand. A walk and some pass balls, and the Bullard Lady Panthers on top.
Bullard able to capitalize as the sun just over the left field fence. First time I've seen the sun today, seen remnants of it. Macy Beam takes ball one away.
So right now, that's going to be a problem for the batter in the left-handed box. It's hanging low in the air, or in the sky.
Beam, West, and Burkland are due up for Liberty in the fourth. Beam just catches a piece of that, leaving the count at a ball and a strike. Liberty has one walk, no hits.
Yet Jalen Pritchard so far is the only Lady Panther to get on base, right?
That is correct. Foster delivers the 1-1 pitch, and it is low and away. 2 balls and a strike to Macy Beam, who fouled out to the third baseman Hooker in foul territory in her first at bat. Liberty fans stomping on these aluminum bleachers to get these Lady Panthers in it, and Beam serves this one into shallow left field. The left fielder playing shallow moves towards the left field line for the catch, and that's the first out of the top of the fourth inning.
Well, Ross, Casey West coming up to bat. She has been a power hitter for the Lady Panthers throughout the course of the season. Home run leader for the Lady Panthers.
9 home runs on the year.
It's imperative that the Lady Panthers get something. They don't have to get it all back, but they need to start chipping away. One of the beauties of softball is a 3-run or 4-run lead can evaporate in just a second. Such a fast-paced game.
3-0, top of the fourth inning with 1 away. Casey West is ready to look at the first offering from Foster. It is low, coming in under the knees.
Yeah, Foster, again, not throwing the ball very hard, but she's been doing a pretty good job of placing the ball where she wants to place it.
West looks at the 1-0 pitch on that outside corner.
And you can probably hear the crowd in the background not particularly caring for that call. It was a good call. They just won it both ways. Although I think he's been doing a pretty good job of calling even.
West rips the ball on the ground into left field for a single. Liberty's first hit, bobbled by the left fielder, but quickly picked up and thrown to second base. Casey West on first base with 1 away.
That was a nice hit, just right in the gap, and it Almost got underneath the glove of the third baseman, scooted over to the side. Really sharp hit, Ross. And again, Lady Panthers, they don't need to get it all back at once. A little here, a little there.
Hardest hit ball since Camden Chandler's line out to Garner and left in the second inning. Michaela Burkland bounced out to the third baseman Hooker in her first at bat. Casey West at first. Burkland with her elbow in the air. Fouls this one off the handle of the blue and white bat.
Yeah, she was trying to pull out of that at bat and not able to get her hands out of the way in time, and that ball caught the handle for a strike.
Top of the fourth inning, Bullard leads Liberty 3-0 after a 3-run bottom of the third. Burkland in 0-1 count. The pitch from Foster misses outside, bringing Grant, the catcher, out of her crouch.
Liberty Panthers Sports Network, once again, want to give a big shout out to Mr. Gene West and his company, Big Tex Rentals in Dayton, for sponsoring the game tonight.
The 1-1 pitch to Burkland as she reaches out, gets it, grounds it back to the pitcher Foster, who throws on to first for the second out. Little underhand number for the second out of the inning. Casey West moving into second base.
That was tough right there. I don't know that Burkland really wanted to swing at that one. Got a barrel on it. She moved the runner, so that was good. But probably should have left that one alone, Ross.
Scoring update in the other 4A semifinal game. Corpus Christi Calallen leading Iowa Park 7-5 in the bottom of the fourth inning. Yeah, Camden Chandler looks at ball one. A good job by Grant getting out in front of that one.
CC Calallen played in the state championship game 2 years ago at the 5A level. And Iowa Park, pretty small school. I think they're the smallest of the four schools here.
1 ball and no strikes with 2 outs to Camden Chandler. She lined out to the left fielder Garner in her first at bat. She sends a ball high and deep into center field. The center fielder going back. And as she was moving back, makes the catch, and that'll do it. Liberty gets a hit, leaves one. We're middle of the fourth inning. Bullard 3, Liberty nothing.
It's going to take guts to make the 200-mile trip from Liberty to Austin. Along the way are 5 rounds of grueling playoff softball. Lose, and you go home. Once you get there, another 2 until you're the last one standing. Will it be the Lady Panthers? Time to find out.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play, producer Richard Ewing. Moving into the bottom of the fourth inning, your Lady Panthers trailing Bullard 3-0. Some hard hit balls and the first hit of the game for the Lady Panthers in the top of the fourth, but nothing doing as the Bullard Lady Panther defense still there to stop whatever our Lady Panthers were doing.
8, 9, and 1 due up for Bullard. Kinsey King, Riley Joe Garner, and Berlin Grossman.
Yeah, Casey West had a good series against the bottom of the order. Important that she goes ahead and gets that again so that they can go to work and find out a way to get that top part of the order for Bullard. Again, their averages aren't super amazing, but they have shown the ability to be patient. They've shown the ability to battle deep into at-bats, come back from 0-2 counts, and do whatever it takes to stay alive. And right now, they are in the pole position, as it were.
There's a 3-0 lead. And after this, Liberty will have 2 more at-bats in regulation.
You're correct.
Getting late here.
It's definitely getting late.
And it's hard to you think about it, but it's a seven inning game. We're used to 9 innings being the number, but with 7 innings and you're next at bat in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, you got to get going pretty quickly. But again, they have to show that they can get the outs that they need and then get going offensively. I feel like they're really close to getting the timing. They just got to get it and get it quickly.
This a winner go home game. Win or go home. Not winners goes home. A strike from Casey West to Kinsey King. King, the 4th strikeout victim of Casey West in her at bat in the 2nd inning. 6 strikeouts in the game for Casey West. Alongside Walks. This is going to be a hit right to the second baseman, Bishop, who gets it, bare hands it, throws on to first.
Yeah, that was
for the first out.
That was almost one of those situations of that bloop that just comes off where the handle meets the barrel, got right over Casey, but Kylie Bishop, as she's done most of the season, right there and throws a strike down to Reagan Williamson for the out.
Riley Jo Carter comes in. It's her first at bat. She was pinch hit for when she came around in the order the first time. Right-handed batter. Looks at a ball inside. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Liberty trails Bullard 3-0 in this elimination game. That's, I guess, a better way to say it than winner go home. Casey West missing inside with the first pitch, brings it back towards the plate a little bit, gets the strike call on that pitch.
Yeah, the winner of this game playing Saturday for the whole thing. The loser going to be crowned 3rd place.
Casey West going to the outside corner. After going with 2 pitches inside, 1 a ball and 1 a strike, goes outside, gets a strike call, 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 4th inning, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Riley Jo Carter is set down. 7th strikeout for Casey West. And 2 away. Back to the top of the order. Grossman has struck out looking, walked, and scored. Grossman scored Bullard's first run in the 3-run 3rd inning. Left-handed batter, back of the batter's box. First pitch is swung on and missed.
Well, Ross was at that great Phillies team back in the 70s, 80s, the Cardiac Kids. Is that who that was? The Lady Panthers trying their best to imitate them.
The 0-1 pitch to Grossman is fouled back right off the top protector on the foot of catcher Holly Thomas.
I guess it couldn't have been the 70s because Winnie Dykstra was on that team, so the 80s and early 90s.
It had been early 90s.
Yeah, there you go.
Dykstra was with the Mets before. Dykstra was on those 80s Mets teams.
Oh, that's right.
Mets
that's right.
Team that won the World Series.
I'll eventually get the decade correct.
The 0-2 pitch misses high and outside. Lenny Dykstra wrote a book. Had an interesting after career.
Yeah, he's a character. Liberty Panthers Sports Network.
The 1-2 pitch to Grossman is fouled right in to the calf of Grossman.
Yeah, that's one of the things when you swing away like that and you catch it off the handle, it's going to come back. And the good thing is it didn't hit her on the instep. That's when it really hurts, when it hits bone and not muscle. You can usually walk the muscle one off. You have to take a second for a breather if it hits bone.
Casey West ahead of Grossman, 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bullard leads 3-0. And that is a swing and a miss. And Grossman is down on strikes, and that'll do it for Bullard. A 1-2-3 inning for Casey West in the bottom of the 4th inning. On to the 5th. Liberty bats looking for some action.
Big Tex Rentals on 1960 in Dayton believes in hometown values. Locally owned and operated and serving the greater Liberty County area since 2008. Call the friendly folks at Big Tex 936-257-8776 where they can help you with all your equipment rental needs. Construction and building equipment, lawn care and maintenance, power tools and small equipment too. Are you planning a big event? Don't stress out. Call Big Tex where they can help you with all your party and event rental needs. When you have equipment rental needs, Big Tex Rentals in Dayton is just a phone call away. 936-257-8776. Big Tex Rentals wishes the Liberty Lady Panthers the best of luck in the state softball tournament.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play. Producer Richard Ewing. Moving into the top of the 5th inning, your Liberty Lady Panthers trailing 3 runs to none and trying to chip away at this, having a less than optimal bottom of the 3rd inning, Ross.
I need to correct a mistake, Joe. I said that they had 2 at-bats left. They have the 5th, 6th, and 7th. For whatever reason, I was leaving the 6th inning out, and watch, that's going to be the inning Liberty explodes.
Well, fingers crossed that happens, Ross. I'd really like them to explode in the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning.
They trail this one 3-0 after a 3-run 3rd inning. Holly Thomas leads it off. No batting gloves, just some black bat tape around the handle as the first pitch from Foster backs Thomas away.
Yeah, she really brushed her back on that one. What's the opposite of chin music? Ankle music?
Ankle music.
Okay. Yeah, Holly Thomas, somewhat of an enigma as of late. She had a fairly rough couple of games against Lake Belton and then came up big in Game 3 to help secure that victory.
Yeah, 3 for 12 in that series with 2 runs driven in, but some big runs driven in that series.
Very
she
big
also
runs.
Scored 2 runs.
And she's been just phenomenal all year long behind the plate defensively.
Narrow batting stance, and she sends the 1-0 pitch into the gap. It is cut off, though, by the center fielder holding Holly Thomas to first base. Joe, that looked like that was going into the gap. And the center fielder, Grossman, speedily getting over for that one, but a base hit to lead off the inning for Liberty.
Yeah, Grossman making up for her woes at the plate defensively. That did look like it was going to get to the wall, or the fence rather, and she got over there very quickly. The last couple of teams the Lady Panthers have played have had some really great outfielders.
With nobody out in the top of the 5th inning, Kylie Bishop bounced out to Foster in the circle in her first at bat. Holly Thomas is at first with the hard single. And the first pitch misses to Kylie Bishop at about the letters.
Yeah, what do they say in that classic Major League? Someone's due. And it feels like Kylie Bishop is the one that's due for some big hits lately, as good as she's been defensively.
She, too, going without batting gloves. And she sends a ball that sends the left fielder back shy of the warning track and makes the catch.
Well, that ball had a great sound coming off the barrel, and it's kind of deceptive from where we're standing. It looked like it was going to go a good bit further than it actually ended up going. She did put it pretty deep into left field.
Yeah, the left fielder playing deep had to backpedal to get that one. First out of the inning. Reese Evans struck out in her first at bat in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, she was coming out of the box trying to slap and wasn't able to get a contact on that.
3-0 Bullard, top of the 5th inning, 1 out. Holly Thomas led the inning off with a single. She's at first. Evans looks at the first pitch high.
Yeah, it'd be really great for them to be able to push some runners around and get back to Jalen, who's just been really great with runners in scoring position.
A ball and no strikes to Reese Evans. Evans looks at this pitch again, a little high.
Another great eye by Reese Evans. You see that early on in the season. That's probably a pitch that's going to get a lot of people to swing.
Foster comes back to the rubber and delivers the 2-0 pitch. Bounced just over the glove of Foster and goes down, just nipped the glove a bit, and no play for Foster.
You couldn't have drawn that up better, Ross. She hit it to Foster's hand side, her pitching hand, and so she had to come across her body with the glove and wasn't able to make the snow cone catch. And when she touched the ball, it pushed it into dead space. Probably would have been better had she just left it alone and let it go to the shortstop. But she did not, and now we have two Lady Panthers on base, first and second. And this is the best that the Lady Panthers have been offensively throughout the entire contest here in the top of the 5th inning. Again, they don't have to get everything back here, just a little bit at a time. I tell my guys on the soccer field all the time, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time.
Official score ruling that an error on the pitcher Foster.
Yeah, that's probably a good score right there.
The shirtless rowdy student section is making their way on the little concourse in front of the stands for Liberty.
Yeah, they're trying to really energize this park, and the Lady Panthers are getting excited. You can feel it. A little tension change here. And if Bailey Slack's able to get something going here, this may explode, Ross.
Bailey Slack.
A single by Holly Thomas to lead off the inning. She's at second. A line out by Kylie Bishop. And Reese Evans reached on the error on the pitcher Foster. One away in the top of the 5th inning. Liberty trailing 3-0 to Bullard in the state semifinal game being played in Georgetown. Slack looks at the first pitch that rolls in to the right-handed batter's box.
Really great eye. That was really low. Nice by the freshman.
Sun is setting in a beautiful sky in Georgetown.
It's gorgeous. It looks like somebody has been painting in the western sky, Ross.
Bob Ross has been at work today. 1 ball and no strikes. And the 1-0 pitch misses. Holly Thomas dances off of second base, drawing the interest of Grant, the catcher for Bullard.
Again, this is a situation the Lady Panthers just need to be patient to get back to the big bats that are coming up. We've said this ad nauseum. The back end of the order, just do what you need to do the simple things. A nice easy bunt, a nice a run, whatever.
Slack has a 2-0 count as Foster delivers the 2-0 pitch. Missing high. 3 balls and no strikes to the freshman right fielder.
And here's a situation, the catcher, Grant's going to come out and talk to her gal, her battery mate in the circle, just kind of get her under control. It's a very, very big hitters count here, 3-0. In fact, I would be shocked if she swings at this, make Foster throw a strike here.
Would not be surprised to see a get-me-over strike on 3-0. You don't want to load the bases with 1 out and Jalen Pritchard on deck. And that is exactly what it is, a get-me-over strike from Foster. 3 balls and 1 strike and a good take by Bailey Slack.
Now Bailey Slack can go back to work here. She's still in an ideal spot. Don't want to hit into any double play.
Infielders are playing in on Bailey Slack. She bounces this one back to Foster, who goes to third, overthrows the third baseman. Ball gets away, but not far enough, and now the bases are loaded. The second consecutive error on Foster.
Wow, Ross. My heart just jumped into my throat. What looked like was going to be an easy 1-6 put out there, or I'm sorry, 1-5 put out there, turned into an error. Bases are loaded for the power bat coming up, Jalen Pritchard. How many times have we seen the situation, the Lady Panthers getting going slow and then coming on in spades? Haven't put any runs across, but they are in an ideal situation.
That is actually going to be called a fielder's choice by the official scorer. No out was made. Jalen Pritchard walk to start the game off for Liberty. You can hear the crowd as the umpire behind home plate gets the Liberty dugout back in their right spot. The first pitch from Pritchard, from Foster to Pritchard, is in for a strike on the breaking ball.
Now the reality here, Ross, is that Jalen is a great hitter, but she doesn't need to try to do it all with one swing.
Macy Beam on deck, infield playing back. 0-1 pitch misses outside.
And the runners need to have their head on a swivel here. A pass ball can score. And again, all they need to do is to break the dam here and get some runs.
Foster able to shut Liberty out through 4 1/3 innings. Pritchard lines this one over the third baseman, down the left field line, gets by the left field, we're going to go all the way to the wall. 1 run is in, 2 runs, here comes the 3rd run, we're tied. A triple, Ross, and just like that, the Lady Panthers back in this ball game, all tied up at 3. How about that, Ross Norwood? Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing. Top of the 5th inning, and the Lady Panthers finally get the bats going, and in a nice, what do you call this, a very direct sort of way. Not trying to do too much, being very patient. Jalen Pritchard, the senior, coming up big. Tripling to left field and picking up 3 RBIs.
And that was about 4 inches away from being a liner to the third baseman, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the third baseman, Hooker, had a good jump at that one, but just missing it. Macy Beam throws down a bunt. It is fair, says the home plate umpire. Fielded by Grant, who fires down to first for the second out. Having to stay at third is Jalen Pritchard.
You know, they talk about that when you talk about particular surgical methods, you know, a millimeter to the left, a millimeter to the right, disaster. She couldn't have hit that ball down any closer to where it would have been foul.
Little hesitation on our part because that was very close to being foul. Was not. In and out. A 2-3 put out. Casey West. She singled in her last at bat.
And looks like they're gonna intentionally walk Casey West. And they're gonna send Michaela Burkland up to the plate. And I don't know about you, Ross, but she's turning into the Barry Bonds, not the steroids Barry Bonds, but the getting walked Barry Bonds.
Was intentionally walked twice in the Lake Belton series, and it worked out both times for Lake Belton. Michaela Burkland has bounced out to the third baseman and bounced out to Foster, the pitcher, hoping to make Bullard pay for the intentional walk to Casey West. 3 runs in for Liberty in the top of the 5th inning, tying this game at 3. And the first pitch to Burkland is high.
Still in the dangerous part of the order for the Lady Panthers. Burkland has had multiple situations when she's stepped up with 2 outs, and she's come up with a clutch hit.
Jalen Pritchard at third. She tripled home 3 runs that tied this game up. First and third, Casey West at first after the intentional walk. Michaela Burkland sends this ball high in the air, but into shallow right field. The right fielder angling over to the right field line and comes down with the catch, and that'll do it. But Liberty picks up 3 runs, tying it. Bottom of the 5th inning, Liberty 3, Bullard 3.
Big Tex Rentals on 1960 in Dayton believes in hometown values. Locally owned and operated and serving the greater Liberty County area since 2008. Call the friendly folks at Big Tex 936-257-8776, where they can help you with all your equipment rental needs. Construction and building equipment, lawn care and maintenance, power tools and small equipment too. Are you planning a big event? Don't stress out. Call Big Tex, where they can help you with all your party and event rental needs. When you have equipment rental needs, Big Tex Rentals in Dayton is just a phone call away. 936-257-8776. Big Tex Rentals wishes the Liberty Lady Panthers the best of luck in the state softball tournament.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play. Producer Richard Ewing. Bottom of the 5th inning, but your Liberty Lady Panthers coming back and making this a game. Jalen Pritchard with a huge triple to send in 3 runs and tie the ball game up and level it back at 3.
Kayla Paul, Gabby Nichols, and Addison Hooker are due up
Bottom of the 5th, leading off
for Bullard in the 5th.
Fielder number 2, Kylie Paul.
Yeah, producer Richard Ewing have to step out of his comfort zone there and let me know I'm a little hot on the mic. It's usually you, Ross. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Again, this game brought to you by Big Tex Rentals out of Dayton, Texas. State semifinal match, Ross, and it has been good so far. Better since the top of this last inning.
The first pitch to Paul misses away.
And Ross, this is the part of the lineup that the Lady Panthers have struggled with both times that they have faced them.
Paul walked in the first, got as far as third base before being stranded there. In the third, she singled, stole a base, and came around to score in that 3-run third inning for Bullard. And she gets a piece of the 1-0 pitch, foul, to even the count.
Well, right now it is a beautiful sky and don't feel any more droplets of water. Haven't felt that in about an inning or two, and it just really turned into a lovely evening, Ross.
Cool and crisp, if you can say that about
in June.
In June. Of course, we are in Central
June,
Texas.
It is cool for June.
The 1-1 pitch is sent foul.
I got to tell you, she has had some lasers come off of her bat headed over toward that on-deck circle in the dugout. I don't know if I wouldn't just stay in the dugout if I were up next to bat.
This game originally going to be played at McCombs Field at the University of Texas, but because of rain was moved to Georgetown and Eastview. A bouncer to the drawn-in Jalen Pritchard, who fires on to Williamson at first for the first out of the inning. And for the first time in today's game, Kayla Paul is retired.
Yeah, Paul, a lot of speed coming out of that, a sharp hit. If she would have not had as much on it, she might have been able to leg that out.
Gabby Nichols, sacrifice bunt, and a pop out to the second baseman in her 2 at-bats.
The Lady Panthers doing everything that they needed to do to get this game back under control. I tell you what, we talked about the cardiac kid thing. They're fun to watch, but, man, they'll raise that heart rate.
Nichols looks at ball 1, and the 1-0 pitch is upstairs. She starts her swing. The first base umpire on appeal says, yes, she went.
Yeah, I knew he was going to call that one. She turned all the way around on that one. And far enough around that the plate umpire, he didn't really have a call on it, but the first base umpire, that was a great call.
Quickly appealed down to the first base umpire, who wasted no time throwing her fist in the air.
The board is showing 1-0.
This one bounced back to Casey West. Casey West backhands it on the third base side of the pitching circle and gets it to Williamson for the second out.
Well, that was about a slow motion of a play as I've seen in a while. It got into West's glove. She had to backhand it, and it just looked like it hung there for a second like Velcro, and she was able to turn and get her out.
Tough play for West because it was hit so slowly, and she had to go.
She had to come all the way across her body to make the play.
2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. Addison Hooker, she's walked, singled, picked up an RBI, and looks at ball 1.
Yeah, West dropped that right into Holly Thomas's pocket there and didn't get the strike call. That must have been a little too low for the umpire.
Liberty fans voicing their displeasure with the call. But a borderline pitch. The 1-0 pitch is a strike.
Yeah, he definitely
moving to the outside corner.
I forget who it was we were talking to the other day, talked about a great game is when you don't even know that the umpires are there.
3 runs in the third for Bullard and 3 runs in the fifth for Liberty, and this game is tied at 3 state semifinals as the 1-1 pitch misses high for a ball.
Again, earlier on we looked at the update on the other side. CC Cal Allen was leading Iowa Park 7-5 in the 4th inning, and we'll have an update on that one pretty soon. Again, the winner of this game will face the winner of that game, most likely on Saturday, depending on what the weather does.
This ball foul. Hanging up in the air, but not very high off the ground. Not enough time for Williamson, who was charging in from first, or Thomas from the plate to make a play on that.
I want to go ahead and make a big shout out to our fans who have been with us through this entire playoff run. The things that we're doing right now would not be possible if you were not listening to us. Thank you, and on behalf of the Lady Panthers, I thank you for this great run that they've been on, and hopefully it continues.
Update. Strike 3 called, and that'll do it for Bullard in the 5th. A 1-2-3 5th for Casey West. On to the 6th. Tie game.
We are excited to honor the class of 2021. There are no restrictions on the number of guests that can attend, but please be mindful and practice social distancing. If you cannot attend, please join us on the LHS-AV live stream link found on the Liberty High School website. Let's celebrate these graduates, and go Panthers!
Welcome back, Panther Nation, Liberty Panthers Sports Network. I'm Joe Roberts, alongside play-by-play man Ross Norwood, and actually alongside me now, producer Richard Ewing, stepping out of the press box, going mobile with his technical services. And the Lady Panthers coming back in the top of the 5th inning to level this game at 3 runs apiece. Casey West going to work in the bottom of the 5th inning, getting a 1-2-3, completing that with a strikeout. And moving here now to the top of the 6th, Lady Panthers, Camden Chandler up. She has been just a whisker away from 2 hard hit balls getting into the wall, to be honest with you. She's hit a couple of hard shots, Ross.
Update in the Cal Allen Iowa Park game. Cal Allen leading 8-5, top of the 6th inning with 2 outs.
Again, Cal Allen in 5A a couple of years ago, playing for it all in 19 when they were 5A.
No update. We're getting an error message when I check the die ball score, so they may not have gotten to play.
It still looks pretty ugly down that way toward Austin.
Joe, you get to drive us back to Austin.
Oh, don't even remind me.
Camden Chandler looks at strike 1, a good pitch from Foster on the outside corner.
Camden Chandler has had a great run of late, really coming to life in that Lake Belton series. And the freshman, because of that, getting more confidence from her coach.
Foster bounces the 0-1 pitch in for a ball. It's Chandler, Thomas, and Bishop.
These were 3 of the young Lady Panthers that we knew had to be a part of whatever they were going to do offensively for them to have a chance.
Chandler sends the 1-1 softly to the shortstop, who charges in, gets it to first just in time, and a good stretch by the first baseman, King. Nichols doing a good job charging that ball.
Yeah, she had a great throw. That was just a slow bouncer. Camden not able to beat that out, but that was just a really great play by the first baseman. She went into the full-on splits to take that. That was really nice.
Tied game, top of the 6th inning. Liberty and Bullard. Game being played at Eastview High School in Georgetown, Texas. Well, where else would it? We wouldn't be in Georgetown. We wouldn't be in the other Georgetown for the UIL state championship game. State semifinals. The first pitch to Holly Thomas backs her away just above the belt for a ball.
Yeah, Georgetown's really got you flustered there, Ross.
Thomas led off that 5th inning with a single and came around to score when Jalen Pritchard.
Oh, yeah, she had a great at bat.
Oh, freezes Holly Thomas.
That was a wonderful changeup coming back from the pitcher, Foster. Great location, and it was so slow. That's what you want it to look like, that big velocity difference from the fastball to the changeup.
A ball and 2 strikes to the catcher, Holly Thomas, and she goes high for a pitch and sends it high in the air in foul territory, making it a play. They're saying that she dropped it as the player made a good attempt, but dropped the ball. The ball dropped, and that was just beyond our view.
Yeah, couldn't see it, so can't really make a comment on it. Coach Joe Slack, the first base coach down there, and he's not really one to be animated.
Well, in the first base umpire very early on, she did not make the call per se, but she kept pointing to the ground. And the coach for Bullard,
she's unhappy, and to be honest, I would be too.
You think you have a catch, and then and they're in the far dugout. They're on the third base side. This play taking place on the right field in foul territory.
Yeah, you really want them to be a little more obvious about that, because calls or no calls like that, that's what really gets crowds amped up, and that can cause a situation to turn ugly in a hurry.
So a ball and 2 strikes to Holly Thomas. Narrow open batting stance, and another rise ball, this time missing, and Holly Thomas laying off, and it's a full count.
Yeah, when outs are at a premium this late in a win or go home situation, Ross.
Excuse me, it evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You're going to have coaches that are going to be arguing some close calls, as they should.
Thomas sends this one into right field. The right fielder comes up throwing. Not in time for the speedy Thomas.
She almost hit that ball too hard. That was a great shot off of her bat, and the right fielder had played up a little shallow, and it just almost painted it right into her glove.
Back-to-back singles by Holly Thomas in her last 2 at-bats. Kylie Bishop comes up, 1 out, top of the 6th inning. Bullard thought they had retired Holly Thomas on a great play in foul territory, but the ball came out and hit the ground before the second baseman, Cannon, could secure it.
Again, this is all kind of conjecture on our part. This is what we think based on what they're saying. Didn't have a good visual on it.
Kylie Bishop looks at strike 1 on the outside corner.
Again, Kylie Bishop had a really nice hard hit. Didn't get on base last time. They had a nice hard hit.
Yeah, she lined into left field, or hit a liner to the left fielder. And she swings and bounces this foul.
And she's making some great cuts right now. We talked about this earlier. If there's anyone that's due for a big hit, it's her. She's been just phenomenal on second base defensively. Everyone's playing a great part for the Lady Panthers on this great playoff run that they've been on. Whether it be defensively or offensively, every Lady Panther has contributed in some manner.
Kylie Bishop down 0-2, 1 out. And this pitch slides off the outside corner. Bullard's coach not happy with that, not being called a strike. But a ball and 2 strikes. Holly Thomas singled. She's at first with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. A tie game. Bullard scoring 3 in the 3rd, Liberty scoring 3 in the 5th. And Kylie Bishop looks at ball 2. That ball bringing the catcher into the left-handed batter's box.
So junior doing a really good job of using her eyeballs to prevent something silly, like swinging at something she doesn't need to.
Down on the count, 0-2. Bishop has come back to even it at 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch misses low.
Oh, that was pretty close right there. That was very ice in the veins kind of a take there for Kylie Bishop. That was just below the knees to give her a full count.
First baseman King playing way off the first base bag. Now making her way back towards the first base bag. Holly Thomas at first. Swing and a miss, and Kylie Bishop is set down on strikes. A good at bat by Bishop, falling down at 0-2.
Yeah, she did a good job of forcing Foster, the freshman, to come back and make some good pitches to her.
Second strikeout of the game for Foster.
I think no matter what happens, Ross, no matter who wins, both teams are probably going to head home wondering about missed opportunities here.
Evans reached on an error and scored in the 5th inning. And she looks at a pitch away and low for a ball. Holly Thomas at first base. 3 runs apiece for Bullard and Liberty. State semifinal game being played at Eastview High School in Georgetown. The rain did not cooperate today in Austin.
Yeah, it really was looking like we were not going to be able to get a game in.
Evans fouls the 1-0 pitch over the stands on the third base side. Bailey Slack is on deck and would hit next if Reese Evans can reach. The speedy Holly Thomas with a base hit to right field, and she is at first. Dark skies, but because of the time of day, Reese is able to look at that pitch away.
Yes, outside.
2 balls and a strike.
Great job of keeping her bat on her shoulder there. She's taking that classic slap hitter's approach, back of the batter's box, trying to come across with her bat and use her speed to push runners and get herself on board.
Reese Evans thinks Foster's taking a little too long and backs out of the box. And she is back in. Two balls and a strike to Reese Evans, 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning in a tie game. Evans, they want an appeal, and the field umpire says yes, Evans went. And that'll even the count at 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was looking at there.
Karen Slack coming down to have a discussion with the home plate umpire. The field umpire that was at second base who made the call is at second base, not down the line.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there. She did not break the plane there, and that's just a tough call. Fortunately, it didn't result in a strikeout. Now Reese is going to have to be really careful and protect herself here with 2 outs and 2 strikes.
Holly Thomas singled, she's on first. This game tied at 3 in the top of the 6th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch is strike 3 on the outside corner at the knees. And that'll do it for Liberty in the 6th. A single, 1 left and 2 strikeouts. Middle of the 6th inning, 3-3.
We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Coming to you this summer, the Liberty Athletics Department will host multiple sports camps focusing on skill development, as well as a summer-long power camp that will focus on general strength and conditioning. For more information, contact Athletic Director Chad Taylor, rctaylor@libertyisd.net, or Karen Slack, keslack@libertyisd.net. Bigger, stronger, faster, better. Go Panthers!
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. I'm Joe Roberts alongside my play-by-play partner, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing. Been a great game so far. State semifinals. Your Lady Panthers taking on Bullard in the state semifinal elimination game. The winner heading to the state championship game for all the marbles on Saturday. Game having been moved from Macomb Field in Austin proper to Georgetown. Going into the bottom of the 6th inning, all tied up at 3. Both teams having scored 3 runs in a bottom or top part of an inning. All the runs coming in a lump sum. Ross?
It'll be Fultz, Cannon, and Grant due up for Bullard in the Corpus Christi-Cal-Allen game. Corpus Christi-Cal-Allen leads
Bottom of the 6th, leading off
Iowa Park 8-5 in the top of the 7th inning.
Again, the winner of that game will be headed to the state championship game on Saturday, awaiting the winner of this contest.
Iowa Park jumped out to a 4-2 lead in the first after Cal-Allen put 2 runs up. Fultz looks at a strike on the outside corner. Very similar pitch to strike 3 to Reese Evans that ended the top half of this inning. The 0-1 pitch sliding outside a little too much, says the home plate umpire to Fultz.
Mr. Blue didn't like that one.
Fultz has walked twice in this game, picked up 2 RBIs in her last at bat on 2 pass balls. And she swings through the 1-1 pitch.
It's sort of a slow swing.
Ball and 2 strikes, bottom of the 6th inning. 3-3. And the pitch from West, she wanted the outside corner and did not get it.
Oh.
It evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was pretty close. I think she was hoping that she was going to chase that one. I think that fell off the plate a little too early.
Bullard scored 3 in the 3rd inning. Liberty scoring 3 in the 5th inning. And a swing and a miss.
Yeah, Casey West coming back with that rise ball and got her to chase upstairs. Big strikeout from the senior.
9th strikeout on the night for Casey West. First time Fultz has been retired tonight.
Second baseman number 11, Claire Cannon.
The G-man, Tom Kidry, hanging those Ks.
The K-man.
On the fence.
He's got 9 neon green Ks hanging up on the fence. Swinging at the first pitch is Cannon, fielded by Evans, who throws on to Williamson for the out. And a good play by Evans, ranging to her right.
That was really nice. A good confidence builder for her. She had a couple of errant throws in that Lake Belton game that I know she wanted back. She got back on track. She has been just really lights out at that shortstop position, Ross.
Tegan Grant comes in with 2 outs and nobody on in a tie game in the bottom of the 6th inning. And she sends the first pitch foul right back to us.
Yeah, I was ready to catch that. I was going to save your life, Ross.
Well, luckily there was a screen there, Joe.
Well, there's no need to mention the truth while I'm telling my story here.
You don't have your plastic pink sombrero. Trying to catch a foul ball with a plastic pink sombrero. Mini sombrero, I might add.
That's right, a mini sombrero.
At a home game earlier this year, the 0-1 pitch hits Tegan Grant on the left elbow.
Yeah, that one just got away from her, Ross. 2 outs, hit the batter, and she is looking at a new ball. That may have been a little slick.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to hit a batter, well, really ever, but definitely not with 2 outs.
No.
Grant, the catcher, goes down to first. And Kinsey King comes in. King is struck out looking and bounced out to Bishop at second. First pitch is a ball low. Grant was moving and slipped going back to first base after that pitch, but didn't get too far off. Ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss at a pitch that was headed away from Kinsey King.
Yeah, that looked like that may have been her drop ball there. That was nice, had a late break on it, down. She's been able to get under the bat of several of these Bullard Lady Panthers.
King sends this ball foul. Fielded by Jalen Pritchard, throws on to Williamson, but the ball is foul, says the home plate umpire. And that one fielded by Jalen in foul territory, but doing the right thing, following through with the play.
Yeah, that was a good call there. It was clearly foul. Sure would have liked that out, though.
A ball and 2 strikes to King. A hit by pitch has Tegan Grant at first base in a tie game, 3-3, bottom of the 6th inning. State semifinal game. And a foul ball as that ball was getting in on the hands of King. And fouls it into the on-deck circle.
Yeah, West asking for a new softball there, wants to keep it dry. Again, it's not raining anymore. It hasn't rained in some time, but the turf is still a little slick.
All break, no gas cheer breaking out in the stands in Liberty. That is at full. As this pitch sails by Holly Thomas, going into second base is Tegan Grant, and the pitch was a ball.
Yeah, her rise ball just getting away from her a little bit. No harm, no foul. 2 outs, 2 strikes, 2 balls here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
See how the official scorer will rule that, a pass ball or a wild pitch. And it is being ruled a wild pitch, says the official scorer. It evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, a runner at second. A 3-3 game, state semifinals. Winner goes to the state championship game on Saturday. The 2-2 pitch, outside, and a full count. Rally Joe Garner is on deck. Actually, it's not. It's the player that hit for Rally Joe Garner in the second inning.
Is that Pate?
Pate. The payoff pitch sent foul on top of the batting cages.
Yeah, she put some mustard on that one. She just turned a little too early.
Just outside the fence, down the left field line. Going to do the 3-2 pitch again. Runner at second is Grant. She was hit by a pitch and advanced on a wild pitch. Kinsey King looking for the 3-2 pitch, and it misses low. And a 2-out walk.
I think Thomas may want to step out to the circle, or she's stepping out and looking. Going to calm her defense down. They know the hot bag is third. Any bag will be an out.
For the Bullard Lady Panthers, number 15, Kylie Bishop.
That is the 6th walk for Casey West to go along with 9 strikeouts. Karen Slack making her way out to talk with the home plate umpire. Pate batted for Garner in the second inning, and she struck out. Rally Joe Garner batted for herself in the 4th inning, and she struck out. Pate comes with 2 on and 2 out. Runners at first and second. Tegan Grant is at second. She was hit by a pitch and advanced to second on a wild pitch from Casey West. The first pitch missing.
Looked like it missed a little low and outside.
We've got timeout called by the field umpires as Grant at second needs to tie the shoe.
Yeah, right now the Lady Panthers still in pretty good position here. 2 outs. Can get an out at any bag. Just need to get out of this inning.
Pate hitting in the ninth place in the order. The 1-0 pitch missing high. Appeal down to the third base, and the umpire says no, she did not go. Did not appear that she went.
It didn't look like that. I know the pitcher, West, she wanted that one.
Pate back in, looking at the 2-0 pitch, and she fans at the 2-0 pitch. 2 balls and a strike, 2 outs.
Yeah, Pate took a really big cut at that one.
3 runs in the third for Bullard. 3 runs in the fifth for Liberty. That's where we are in the 6th with 2 outs. And Casey West just missing that one. Home plate umpire says that was a little low. 3 balls and a strike. Berlin Grossman is on deck. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, another huge cut by Pate. And that was a little high. Had she laid off that one, she'd probably be standing on first base right now, helping out Casey. Full count here.
On a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs, the runner will be going with the pitch. And this one misses high for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. The 7th walk for Casey West today.
Now we're in a situation, Ross, where they have to be really economical with the way they choose their pitches because a pass ball will score someone.
Conference going on in the circle, the infield for the Lady Panthers coming together to discuss the defensive alignment. Bullard's fans are on their feet.
And this all started with a hit batsman, 2 outs, looking like it was going to be a pretty easy half inning for the Lady Panthers. And now we have 3 runners on. Go-ahead runner on third base.
Grossman has struck out, walked and scored, and struck out in her 3 plate appearances. She also has 2 stolen bases. She's ready for the first pitch from Casey West and sends it sharply foul into the screen. And that'll be strike 1.
Grossman really loaded up on that one and trying to send that into the outfield. Fortunately missed.
The tension is high on both sides with the bases loaded and 2 out in the tie game. This late in the game, bottom of the 6th inning, state semifinal game ratchets it up even more. This ball is popped. Reese Evans comes in and on her knees makes the catch, and that will do it. Great defensive play by Reese Evans at shortstop, having to charge a ball that was sinking fast. After 6 innings, Liberty 3, Lake Bullard 3.
We are excited to honor the class of 2021. There are no restrictions on the number of guests that can attend, but please be mindful and practice social distancing. If you cannot attend, please join us on the LHS-AV live stream link found on the Liberty High School website. Let's celebrate these graduates and go Panthers!
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panther Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play. Producer Richard Ewing. And the tension. You could cut it with a knife, Ross. Top of the 7th inning. Both teams tied at 3 in the bottom of the 6th. Lady Panthers getting 2 quick outs. A hit batsman and bases loaded. Reese Evans, the super shortstop for your Liberty Lady Panthers, making a run-scoring and inning-ending catch. My throat contains my heart.
Yeah, the hit batter with 2 outs, followed by 2 walks.
Yeah, that almost turned sideways in a hurry. Now here we are with your Liberty Lady Panthers.
9-1-2 due up. Bailey Slack has popped out to left field and reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th inning.
This defense is really playing uptight. Second baseman almost next to the pitcher circle.
And she bounces this one over the pitcher's glove and into center field for a base hit in that shallow defense.
Yeah, she put that perfectly. She saw that big gap behind the pitcher, and she slapped that ball straight into the turf, and it took a great bounce over the pitcher Foster's glove, and nothing to be done there. Too fast.
Slack aboard to lead it off in the 7th. Bullard jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the 3rd and held that until Liberty scored 3 in the 5th. Jalen Pritchard with a bases clearing triple in her last at bat. She swings and slices.
Yeah, Pritchard is somewhat of an enigma. I've used that term before today, but she really is. She is a leadoff hitter and she's a slap hitter, but she can hit home runs from that particular stance.
Foster ahead in the count, no balls and a strike. Macy Beam is on deck. Pritchard looks at that pitch, a ball low.
Yeah, Pritchard on board more than 50% of the time for the season. She's been so dangerous, racking up a lot of triples, lots of doubles, and from the leadoff spot, a lot of RBIs.
Senior going to Eastern Illinois after high school to play for the Lady Panthers in Eastern Illinois. And she looks at this pitch away for a ball, 2 balls and a strike.
I'm actually surprised the catcher didn't make an appeal for that one.
Bailey Slack at first. She singled up the middle. It is a tie game. Foster has her sign, gets on the rubber and delivers the 2-1 pitch. Running is Bailey Slack, and she is in safely with a stolen base.
Now Slack in scoring position. Something deep into the gap is going to score her.
And that was ball 3 to Pritchard.
And with no outs, an ideal situation for Liberty to be in right now. This has just been a really back and forth game between both sets of Panthers.
Foster gets back in on the rubber and delivers the 3-1 pitch. Pritchard sending it foul over the Bullard dugout on the third base side. In a full count. Good job by Foster to get back in this. Down in the count.
Yeah,
3-1.
She's going to be good moving forward for Bullard. She's proven that she's worth her medal, Ross.
The 3-2 pitch. Strike 3, says home plate umpire, and Jalen Pritchard is set down looking.
She's gotten that one a couple of times, that full count, little change up on the outside. She's placed that pretty well.
That is her 4th strikeout, and that is huge. With 1 out and a runner at second.
Still a good spot for the Lady Panthers of Liberty to be in. Runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs.
Beam is fouled out to the third baseman, lined out to the left fielder. and hit one foul. And this one's going to get by the shortstop. Shortstop does a great job throwing. Here comes the throw. Safe is Bailey Slack as the ball gets away.
Oh, she took a knock there at home plate. The catcher didn't have a play on it, and she was blocking the plate, and Slack ran right into her.
Similar to what happened with Macy Beam in Game 2 of the Lake Belton series.
But more importantly, Ross Norwood, that was a go-ahead run right there. The freshman coming up big, and when she got hit, she popped right back up and had a big smile on her face because she knew what she just did. She put our Lady Panthers firmly in the driver's seat. And now the head coach for Bullard stepping out to talk to the plate umpire, and she may be asking about interference there.
Well, the problem is the Bullard catcher did not have possession of the ball and was blocking the line.
And I think that's what he just told her. She didn't put up much of a fight there. Going to step out to talk to her pitcher. Both teams have played great. No matter what happens, both of these teams have just played really well. This Bullard team, we didn't know much about them coming into it, and you can only kind of examine records, and you don't get a sense because everyone's good at this point. And they really have proven themselves worthy to be in the Final Four. And if you're a Bullard fan, you need to be excited moving forward for your team. Got a great young pitcher, got some great defenders behind them, or behind her rather.
Heads up base running by Bailey Slack, scoring from second on a ball that didn't get past the shortstop. Shortstop Nichols making a great play.
Yeah, it really
to keep that ball on the throw home that got away from the catcher. And Casey West is going to be intentionally walked a second time.
They just do not want to see her. Although in fairness, they are putting her down there to then create a force out for the lead runner.
Yeah, there'll be a force at third, second, and first as Michaela Burkland comes in. She's bounced out to the third baseman, Hooker. She's singled. Oh, wait, that's Casey West. She's bounced back to the pitcher, Michaela Burkland, and she has flown out to the right fielder. The first pitch, Burkland looks at a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, he has really loved that spot for both pitchers on that side of the plate, not so much on the other side of the plate. Michaela Burkland, the senior, she is something at the plate, looking for her to get something going here. Anything deep, anything in the gap will score.
Burkland pops this one up on the infield. The second baseman moving over towards first base to catch it for the second out of the inning.
Ross, she's been just a whisker away from driving that ball the last couple of at-bats. Just getting underneath it and shallow pop-up.
Camden Chandler with 2 outs and 2 on, runners at first and second. Macy Beam at second. Casey West intentionally walked is at first. Liberty leads 4-3. The breaking pitch freezes Camden Chandler,
yeah,
and it is a strike.
She's got that pitch all night long, and that's a good one for her.
Big disparity and velocity between her fastest stuff and that pitch. The 0-1 pitch misses outside. Home plate umpire does not like that outside corner
for the left-handed
hitters.
Now he's been very consistent with his calls so far tonight. Haven't always liked them, but he's been very consistent.
This is a crew out of Fort Worth. The 1-1 pitch again. Freezing Camden Chandler. That one looked a little high.
Yeah, that looked a little high that time. But again, he's called that in that spot multiple times.
Correct. So it's a ball and 2 strikes to Chandler with 2 outs and 2 on. Liberty's got a run in. They lead the game now 4-3 in the top of the 7th inning state semifinal game. That pitch from Foster to Chandler misses outside.
Yeah, there have been a couple of times where balls have looked like strikes, strikes have looked like balls, and we keep saying it, he's been very consistent.
That's what a hitter will tell you. As long as it's consistent, they can adjust. The 2-2 pitch. High. Chandler started but holds up, says the third base umpire on appeal.
That was
in
good.
A full count with 2 outs. Runners will be on the move. The Speedy Beam and Speedy West are on the base pass. Here is the 3-2 pitch to Chandler. She swings and misses. This one not caught by the catcher. The catcher throws to first for the putout. A 2-3 putout on the strikeout. And Bullard gets out of that inning. They give up a run and they give up the lead. Bottom of the 7th inning, we are going to next. Liberty leads 4-3.
Big Tex Rentals on 1960 in Dayton believes in hometown values. Locally owned and operated and serving the greater Liberty County area since 2008. Call the friendly folks at Big Tex 936-257-8776, where they can help you with all your equipment rental needs. Construction and building equipment, lawn care and maintenance, power tools and small equipment too. Are you planning a big event? Don't stress out. Call Big Tex, where they can help you with all your party and event rental needs. When you have equipment rental needs, Big Tex Rentals in Dayton is just a phone call away. 936-257-8776. Big Tex Rentals wishes the Liberty Lady Panthers the best of luck in the state softball tournament.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood on play-by-play. Producer Richard Ewing. Bottom of the 7th inning here in the state semifinal game. Your Liberty Lady Panthers presumably 3 outs away from their second trip to the state championship in 4 years. Liberty taking the lead in the top of the 7th inning. Bailey Slack scoring. And the Liberty Lady Panthers leading 4-3. However, they are facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Bullard, who have shown themselves to be very, very dangerous.
Kayla Paul leads off for Bullard. She's walked, she's singled, she's stolen the base and scored, and she's bounced out to Pritchard at third. The first pitch from Casey West is a ball inside.
You know, right now I'd like to say the pressure's all on Bullard, but really it's equally on both of these teams.
Bullard getting the home team status by way of record, so they get the bat last in an inning. And a strike to even the count at a ball and a strike. Nice pitch by Casey West.
Yeah, really great strike pickup there to even the count. Casey wanting to take care of these batters to not allow anyone to get on base. That's when the craziness has happened.
Paul fouls off the 1-1 pitch. A Bullard fan makes a play in the top part of the stands.
He's holding a jug, and I thought he was holding a baby for a second there. I was going to give him some props for a great almost catch with a baby in his arms.
Well, that might have not be the best decision if you had a baby in your hands.
Hey, it's the state semifinals, Ross. You got to do what you got to do here.
Paul steps out of the box. Down on the count of ball and 2 strikes.
A great pitcher's count for Casey West and the Lady Panther defense.
West rolls in the 1-2 pitch. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Paul leading off in the bottom of the 7th, followed by Nichols and Hooker. Those are the batters due in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bullard trails Liberty 4-3. And the 2-2 pitch missing high, and it's a full count.
Yeah, she tried to get her upstairs, and she wisely pulled her bat back and didn't go for it. The 3-2 pitch, bounce over Jalen Pritchard.
Making a diving attempt at it is Reese Evans behind Pritchard, but it'll be a single, a leadoff single for Kayla Paul. The tying run is at first base.
Yeah, that was a really nice hit. She drove that ball into the surface and got a great bounce over Pritchard. Reese not able to get over there to get it, got through her glove. Macy Beam back there to keep it from turning into a double.
So with nobody out and the tying run at first, the winning run, the potential winning run, comes to the plate in Gabby Nichols. Nobody out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Liberty right now with a 4-3 lead, but Bullard has the tying run on first base. And the first pitch, as she squares around a bunt, is sent back to Casey West, who fields it, throws on to Williamson for the first out of the inning.
That was a great thing to do right there. Make the smart play, get the easy out. Runner is in scoring position now, but now you're dealing with 1 out instead of no outs. Important for the Lady Panthers of Liberty to just stay calm, stay cool, do the nice, easy thing. Don't force. Don't force anything.
The potential tying run at second base. Kayla Paul, she singled, moved into second on the sacrifice. 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Liberty leads Bullard 4-3. And the first pitch to Addison Hooker is low for a ball. Good job by Casey West to resist the urge to try to get the lead runner there. And the time has been called as Kylie Bishop ties her shoe at second base. Hooker has walked, singled, scored, driven in a run, and struck out looking. She's ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes with the tying run at second base. And that's a pitch on the inside corner.
That's a nice look for Casey. Nice setup from Holly Thomas, the catcher, to get that strike call.
Evens the count at a ball and a strike with 1 out and 1 on. This pitch is high and away to Hooker, bringing Thomas out of her crouch.
Yeah, a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs brings a certain level of change from the defense. A little harder to pitch that outside.
This one is sent foul over the netting behind home plate, just to our left.
Yeah, the reason I say a little harder to pitch the outside is you don't want to take the chance of a pass ball or something like that to put that runner deeper in scoring position on third. This would be a big out if they can get this here and not allow the runner to move or advance.
West delivers the 2-2 pitch. It is low for a ball and a full count with 1 out. Hooker represents the potential winning run for Bullard, down by a run. They have a runner at second. Paul, she singled and moved to second on a sacrifice. The 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Holly Thomas catches it, trying to catch her napping off a second and throw down.
That was cold-blooded right there by Holly Thomas. She almost caught her looking. That was a strike and a half right there from the catcher.
10th strikeout of the day for Casey West, and she will now face Hattie Fultz. Fultz has walked twice, has 2 RBIs and a strikeout. And she looks at strike 1.
See, now that time I like the spot there. She's a much taller batter than the other one. She's got a bigger strike zone. This is a great pitch location from West.
The 0-1 pitch. Fultz sends it out to left field. Macy Beam moves over towards the line, catches it, and the Liberty Lady Panthers win the state semifinal round and will play for the state championship on Saturday. We'll let you know where, depending on the weather.
The Lady Panthers clawing back Ross Norwood. We've seen this in the last series against Lake Belton. They went down, they had quicksand, and they gave up a bunch of runs in the bottom of that inning, came back and won the game. Same thing today. They gave up 3 runs on no hits in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and somehow Coach Slack was able to get them back under control. They did all the little things, and now here we are, your Liberty Lady Panthers heading for the state championship game for the 2nd time in 4 years.
And we talked about, Joe, during the broadcast, how consistent the umpire behind home plate was. Didn't always like the call, but he had the same call for every pitch for both teams.
Now, Ross, before we move forward, you can hear in the background, it's a great crowd for the Liberty Panthers singing the Liberty song. And hats off to the Bullard Lady Panthers. They played one heck of a game. Had this been a series, this would have been a great series.
This would have gone 3 games as
I hate it for them that they weren't able to get into the game to come back, but big hats off to those young ladies.
What a great performance they put in, and it's so hard, to get this far and to not make it into the state championship game.
Now, they are going to be the 3rd place finisher. They're just about to get their medals, their 3rd place medals, and their 3rd place trophy. Again, your Liberty Lady Panthers coming back in the 7th inning to take the lead, and they are the state semifinal champions. They will be playing the winner of CC Calallen or Iowa Park, and we'll find out who that winner is just in a second. Ross is looking that up right now. They'll be playing on Saturday. Again, because of the weather, not sure if that's going to be at McCombs Field or if that's going to be somewhere else, as the 4, 5, and 6A state championship games are slated to be played on Saturday. Ross?
Well, waiting on the updated score, and it is final. Iowa Park was able to put up another run, but so was Calallen. Corpus Christi Calallen making their way to the state championship game with a 10-9 win over Iowa Park. Joe, you talked about Corpus Christi Calallen playing not long ago in the 5A state championship.
Yeah, just 2 years ago in 2019, as a 5A team, CC Calallen played for the state championship. They did not win, but they played, and a number of those players on that 2019 team coming back. I expect this contest between Calallen and Liberty to be another tight one, Ross.
It is the 2nd time in school history that the Lady Panther softball team is playing for a state championship. They did and won in 2018. What will happen here, we'll see on Saturday.
All right, Ross, Liberty Panthers Sports Network. I'm Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing. Your Liberty Lady Panthers heading to the state championship game on Saturday. We'll be there with them, 1 o'clock game time, at least for now.
Wherever
it may be, we'll let you go. We're going to be going Facebook Live tomorrow at some point, probably in the afternoon. I would imagine around 3 or 4 o'clock. And let's go ahead and call it 4 o'clock. We'll go Facebook Live 4 o'clock, Liberty Athletic Booster Club, and we'll have a rundown of tonight's game and what to expect for Saturday's contest. Liberty Panther Sports Network, I'm Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's going to take guts to make the 200-mile trip from Liberty to Austin. Along the way are 5 rounds of grueling playoff softball. Lose, and you go home. Once you get there, another 2 until you're the last one standing. Will it be the Lady Panthers? Time to find out.